Chapter 1290. The bloodletting was still ongoing. A few emperor ranks also began to bleed. Fong Ping smiled and let out some blood casually. He was just putting on an act. However, rumble. The Shiraba shook. When Fong Ping's blood dripped, the entire Shiraba shook. Rumble. The deafening roar continued. The Shiraba was shaking violently. Everyone was stunned. They all looked at Fong Ping. The governor looked vigilant and quickly moved to Tianji's side. Tianji's face was also pale. Without a word, he gathered with Sheng Hong. Fong Ping. If it was not Fong Ping, he would have twisted his head off. On this side, Tianji ran even faster. Almost instantly, he rushed to Tianji and the others. Saint Yuping under the emperor was still a little confused, but the others were not. At this moment, other than King Pingshan, the other true gods also ran quickly. No one dared to stay by Fong Ping's side. Fong Ping. When a drop of his blood caused such a big commotion, everyone understood that this was Fong Ping. Not to mention that the other people's blood was abnormal. Not to mention that Niuming was gifted. Not to mention that it was an accident. No accident. This guy was Fong Ping. If there was an accident, it would only be an accident caused by Fong Ping. Sheng Hong's expression was solemn. Tianji was extremely solemn. The governor gripped his spear tightly. His palms even began to sweat. Yu Ping realized it later and slowly retreated. She did not really understand Fong Ping, but she was not really stupid. From the beginning, Yuan Gang was full of fear and vigilance toward Fong Ping. He warned them several times not to easily go against Fong Ping. Now, 2 heavenly kings were here, and the governor, a top-notch saint, was also here. However, their faces were still pale. It showed how vigilant they were toward Fong Ping. Tianji's saint did not even say a word and ran away immediately, even though Tianji and the others were still targeting the divine sect. This was really a person's name. The name of King Man was synonymous with butcher in the 3 realms. It would be fine if there were broken 7 existences here. Unfortunately, there were none. 2 broken 6 existences. Tianji had just broken 6 not long ago. Even though Fong Ping had only broken 6 previously, the 2 heavenly kings were still vigilant. No one made a sound. No one shouted that name. The group of people was sweating now, but no one shouted Fong Ping. Yes, they were all pretending. Even though everyone knew his identity, no one was willing to expose him. This dramatic scene happened right here. King Pingshan was dumbfounded. This group of people had a strong desire to survive. Fong Ping's identity had been exposed to this extent, yet no one mentioned his name. A stalemate. Sweat dripped down his face. Drip. A true god couldn't hold on anymore. Large droplets of sweat dripped onto the ground. He didn't even dare to wipe them off. Even a true god was sweating. He was truly afraid. Too many powerhouses had died in Fong Ping's hands. It could be said that the fallen heavenly kings and saints of the 3 realms were either directly killed by Fong Ping or indirectly killed by him. Anyway, none of them were unrelated to him. The more he studied Fong Ping, the more terrified he became. This fellow had killed more experts in the past year than the 3 realms had in the past 10,000 years. Fong Ping felt that he was innocent. I didn't do anything. How could I have known that a few drops of my blood would cause such an accident? I didn't even bleed before, and you're already suspecting me. Fong Ping was getting more and more gloomy. Looking at the group of people opposite him, who were watching him warily, he smiled sheepishly. Everyone, why are you looking at me like that? Everyone's expression stiffened. After a while, Sheng Hong smiled stiffly. Fong, fellow Nyo, this Shiraba seems to be reacting to your blood. Is that so? Fong Ping smiled. It might not be my blood. Maybe everyone's blood has mixed together, so there's a reaction. Yes. Sheng Hong smiled and nodded, but he quickly sent a voice transmission to Tianji. Brother Tianji, if you and I join forces, are we really no match for Fong Ping? It's difficult. Tianji's expression did not change, but he quickly replied, he has a lot of tricks, and his golden body is extremely strong. Last time, he was already close to breaking 7. Right now, it's hard to tell whether it's breaking 6 or 7. Even if it's still breaking 6, unless you have the ability to kill him in a second. Otherwise, even if you and I join forces, we might not be able to gain any advantage. Sheng Hong heard that and did not mention this again. He still had a smile on his face. Fellow Niu, since the Shiraba is reacting, why don't we release some more blood? Fong Ping smiled sheepishly. I don't think Emperor-level blood will be effective anymore. Why don't the two heavenly kings try releasing some too? If an emperor spoke to a heavenly king like that, he would have been beaten to death. However, at this time, the two heavenly kings smiled stiffly and did not refute. Fong Ping also knew that he had been exposed, but he would just continue pretending. If he was exposed, then so be it. If he insisted on pretending that he did not know, what could they do? There were two heavenly kings and 3 saints here. Their abilities were not weak. But Fong Ping was not afraid. If there was someone here who had broken 7, he might not be so arrogant, but the point was that there was none. King Pingshan looked at Fong Ping with admiration. Amazing. I'm pretending that I don't know, but I'm still so arrogant. What can you do? King Pingshan felt that Fong Ping's attitude was really cool. What a good life. Everyone knew who you were, but they did not say it. They just flattered you. This was even better than shouting out your identity and then flattering you. He had learned it. The two heavenly kings did not say much and began to release blood. The trembling Shiraba continued to absorb the blood. However, even if it was a heavenly king's blood, it was not as big as Fong Ping's blood. Fong Ping frowned slightly. Why would his blood cause such a big movement? He did not think that there was anything special about his blood. If there was anything special, it was the drop of blood that he absorbed in the world behind the door. Fong Ping had a rough idea. Most likely it was because of that drop of blood. That drop of blood caused the Shiraba to tremble. Is it the Shiraba or this secret place? Fong Ping looked around and squatted down again. After thinking for a while, another drop of blood appeared on his fingertip. Fong Ping's blood, which was originally golden, was now gradually turning red. This drop of blood carried a hint of scarlet. Fong Ping forced out a drop of blood. With a rumble, the Shiraba made a huge movement. It trembled again and quickly absorbed this drop of blood. The entire space was trembling. Everyone else held their breath and looked at Fong Ping. They were also curious why Fong Ping's blood would cause such a big movement. Of course, a freak was a freak. Who knew if there was something special about a freak's blood? Everyone was sure that Niu Ming was Fong Ping. There was no doubt. Seeing this, Sheng Hong exhaled softly. Just as he was about to speak, Fong Ping raised his hand and said, "Stop talking nonsense. Let me ask you a question. Is Emperor Shi dead?" Sheng Hong's expression was stiff. This guy still refused to admit that he was Fong Ping. If he was not Fong Ping, would he be so arrogant? Despite his displeasure, Sheng Hong still said, "Master is undying and indestructible. Naturally, he is still alive." Oh, does Emperor Shi have any arrangements this time? Fong Ping got up and stopped dripping blood. He walked around in a circle without looking at him and said, "Don't tell me that Emperor West hasn't made any moves at all. Since you're here, I don't believe that you didn't prepare anything." Sheng Hong smiled and said, "I really don't have that. Master hasn't contacted us for many years. Trying to fool me?" Fong Ping chuckled. "I know, have a bad temper. Although I'm only Emperor rank, I like to do things like Emperor ranks killing heavenly kings. Do you want to give it a try?" Sheng Hong felt awkward and stiff. "Awesome my ass. If you call me a certain Niu again, I will be disgusted to death." Was there anyone else in the 3 realms who dared to say such arrogant words? Despite his displeasure, Sheng Hong still smiled and said, "It's true." This matter. Before he could finish his sentence, Fong Ping suddenly broke through the void, a punch blasting toward him. Sheng Hong's expression changed, and he hastily raised his hand to counterattack. Rumble! A loud explosion was heard. Sheng Hong flew backward, crashing into the thin membrane behind him. With a rumble, the thin membrane trembled. Sheng Hong's right hand exploded, blood gushing out. Tianji's expression changed drastically. Just as he was about to attack, Fong Ping gave him a cold look. He did not say anything, nor did he continue to attack. Tianji was glanced at by him. He slowly put down the weapon in his hand, took a few steps back, and gathered with Sheng Hong. The others also gathered one after another, their expressions solemn. Fong Ping's coldness dissipated. He looked at Sheng Hong and said with a smile, "Brother Sheng Hong, I saw that your arm exploded. This place is absorbing even more vigorously. Why don't we try to blow you up and see if the effect is better?" After blowing up his arm, at this moment, the Shiraba was indeed absorbing even more vigorously. Sheng Hong glanced at the ground, his face slightly pale. He was no match for Fong Ping. Not only that, his arm had been blown up by Fong Ping's punch. This meant that there was a gap between their strength. Fong Ping might have really broken 7. Not only that, Fong Ping, who had broken 7, had a terrifyingly powerful golden body. Just now, when Fong Ping approached him, he stretched out his hand to counterattack. In the end, Fong Ping's golden body did not even tremble. Both of them had broken 7 strength. If one had a powerful golden body and the other was slightly weaker, there would still be a gap in strength. All of this meant that a normal person who had just broken 7 might not be Fong Ping's match. And he was even less of a match for Fong Ping. Sheng Hong suppressed the grievance in his heart and forced a smile on his face. "Brother Nyo, cut the craps." Fong Ping smiled. "I don't like to waste time. There are at least 13 stages. How can I waste so much time on one stage? Hurry up and tell me everything. Otherwise, I'll kill you. Let's see if killing a heavenly king can help you clear stages." Sheng Hong exhaled softly, feeling slightly aggrieved. He said in a low voice, "Brother, why do you have to force me against my will? There are some things that Sheng Hong really doesn't know." 3. "Brother." 2. At this moment, dozens of saint tokens and heavenly king seals appeared around Fong Ping, sealing off the surroundings. Everyone was terrified. Was he going to start a massacre? Tianji looked at Sheng Hong immediately, his eyes anxious. "Speak. Must you force Fong Ping to kill someone?" Sheng Hong was sent flying by Fong Ping's attack. He knew that even if everyone present joined forces, they might not be Fong Ping's match. Once they had a falling out, it might be a massacre. Sheng Hong was helpless. He said quickly, "I'll speak." Master did send a voice transmission once, but it was very brief. Sheng Hong looked at the others, then at Fong Ping. He did not choose to say it, but sent a voice transmission into Fong Ping's ear. Master said that there are many secrets in the 3 realms. Among them, the biggest secret is the seed. The seed has a lot to do with the person who opened up the origin. The person who opened up the origin might be related to the seed. And there are a few places in the 3 realms that might be related to the seed and that person. This place should be one of those places. Sheng Hong paused and continued. This place might not be the 13th stage. It might be the 14th stage. After passing this 14th stage, we might be able to see the seed. But the seed is difficult to capture. It might not even be in this void, so what we see might just be a virtual projection. Whether it's the real body or a projection, once we encounter it, we'll definitely gain a lot. Fong Ping rubbed his chin and said telepathically, "Then these stages, you don't know how to pass." Sheng Hong's tone was bitter. "This is the Beast Emperor's stage. I really don't know. The Emperor might not know about these stages, but it should be related to some of their habits. For example, if we encounter Master's stage, it might be a chess game. Master likes to play chess to test his disciples, so it's very likely that such a situation will happen. Therefore, it's best to bring someone related to the Emperor to pass the stage. If we encounter Master's stage in Celestial Pole, we might be able to pass it quickly. There are no disciples of the Beast Emperor here. I really don't know how to pass the stage." He said it earnestly. Fong Ping glanced at him and believed him. Emperor West's stage might be playing chess. Emperor Baishan's was fighting, and Emperor Runwang's was learning. Each had their own characteristics. This place must have intercepted a more commonly used method in their memories to test people. Fong Ping ignored him. He looked down at the cat and said telepathically, "Big cat, under normal circumstances, other than selecting generals, is there any other purpose in the Beast Emperor's Shiraba?" The cat raised its head and fell into deep thought. After a while, it said hesitantly, "Does barbecue count?" Fong Ping was speechless. "The Beast Emperor knows how to barbecue?" "Yes." The cat nodded. It was true. In the past, it would sometimes ask the Beast Emperor to eat meat together. What else? The cat was conflicted. What else? Fong Ping waited for it to think and continued to drip blood. He realized that as he dripped blood, something different seemed to happen. Drops of blood dripped. Each drop would cause the platform to shake. The others were silent at this moment. They gathered together, worried that Fong Ping would suddenly attack them. This guy was a time bomb. No one knew when he would explode. The key was that Fong Ping was extremely impatient. Yes, Fong Ping was very anxious. At this moment, after dripping hundreds of drops of blood, the platform light trembled. There was no other reaction. Fong Ping could not help but curse. So much time has been wasted. So much blood has been wasted. Do you really have to force me to kill people? Everyone was getting more and more nervous. It had only been a while, and this guy was already impatient. At this moment, Sheng Hong suddenly said, "Soon, Fong. Fellow Niao, drip some more blood." Fong Ping frowned. At this moment, he quickly looked toward the center of the platform. There seemed to be a shadow slowly emerging in the central area. The blood absorbed in all directions seemed to be condensing this shadow. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows. He did not say much and continued dripping blood. Gradually, the shadow became much clearer. A head of golden hair. Its cheeks looked like they were carved by a knife. It was incomparably cold, looking down on all living beings. "Beast Emperor!" someone exclaimed in a low voice. Sheng Hong also said hurriedly, "This is Lord Beast Emperor." Fong Ping looked at the shadow. At this moment, the shadow became more and more real, as if it had intelligence. It also looked at Fong Ping. Its eyes were empty, but one could still feel that it was looking at Fong Ping. True blood. A strange tone was heard, but Fong Ping could understand it. It was mixed with mentality fluctuations, unlike in Myriad World's palace previously, where there was only sound and no mentality fluctuations. This murmur was heard. Beast Emperor's projection looked at Fong Ping again and said slowly, "This place is supposed to test the courage, strength, and faith of those who break through. I didn't expect someone with true blood to appear." Fong Ping frowned and sensed for a while. After a while, he said, "Are you a clone?" "Clone?" Beast Emperor's projection said flatly. "Not a clone, just a memory that exists in the past. No strength?" Beast Emperor's projection was still calm. "Memory? Why do I need strength?" Boom! A loud explosion was heard. The shadow was blasted apart by Fong Ping's punch. Fong Ping raised his fist and scolded. "Last time, it was you who attacked me in Ninth Heaven, you old bastard. I thought this was a clone, and your strength was not weak. In the end, it was just a memory projection. How dare you be so insolent in front of me? Old bastard, you won't listen unless I hit you." There was silence everywhere. Sheng Hong and the others were stunned. "You? Is this how you treat the Emperor?" All right. They suddenly realized that this was Fong Ping. It seemed quite normal. Fong Ping let out a humph, seeing the shadow solidify again. Then looking at the blood-red ground that was starting to turn pale, he curled his lips and said, "I understand now. Sucking blood to condense a projection, right? If it wasn't my blood, according to this situation, a few people would have died. If I came alone, I might not be able to break through. You old bastard, you're not a good person either. Not only does it suck blood, but it also sucks vitality. I can feel it." Fong Ping scolded. Anyway, he was not going to hold back. "You're just a program. Hurry up and tell me how to break through." "What's in it for breaking through? If you don't listen, believe it or not, I'll beat you up." The Beast Emperor's projection was still a little confused. It was a memory. That was also an emperor. And it was beaten up today. Beaten up very unceremoniously. "How dare you, boom!" Another explosion was heard. Fong Ping threw a punch, and the shadow dissipated again. As soon as it dissipated, Fong Ping dripped blood again. He said with some dissatisfaction, "After beating it up, it's my own blood and vitality. It's not worth it." As Fong Ping said that, he looked around. He looked at Sheng Hong and the others with an expression that said he would kill them to provide blood and vitality to the Beast Emperor. Everyone's faces turned green. At this moment, they could see it too. The reason why Fong Ping's blood caused such a huge commotion was that it seemed to contain too much vitality and other forces, which caused the Beast Emperor's projection to awaken. Otherwise, many people would have died. Only by merging vitality into the Shiraba could the Beast Emperor's projection appear. Now, Fong Ping had scattered the projection. This also meant that he had to continue to replenish these. The Beast Emperor's projection revived again. This time, its expression was a little strange. In Fong Ping's arms, the cat poked its head out and advised, "Old Beast Emperor, tell us quickly. If you don't, he'll beat you to death. After he beats you to death, he'll record it and send it out. The whole 3 realms will know that you were beaten by him." The Beast Emperor's projection glanced at the cat. Even if the cat turned into a tiger, it seemed like he could still recognize it. The Beast Emperor's projection was just a program. This was true, but it still had some intelligence. At this moment, it did not care about Fong Ping scattering his projection anymore. In fact, if his projection revived, it meant that he had to say it. But the key thing was that Fong Ping did not give him the chance to say it. Seeing that Fong Ping was rubbing his palms together, ready to beat him up again, the Beast Emperor's projection did not have any expression. He said slowly, "Breaking through this level requires courage and faith." Fong Ping said lightly, "I already have courage if I beat you up. Is faith not strong enough? Does this mean that I can break through?" The Beast Emperor's projection paused for a moment. Then it seemed to laugh. To everyone's surprise, the projection actually laughed. "You're right. You dared to face the Emperor and attack the Emperor. Indeed, you have great courage and faith. You've passed this level. That's good. Oh, right. Is there a reward for breaking through?" Reward. The projection paused for a moment, then said quickly, "Yes. The Shiraba is the land of the brave. The brave unite their essence, spirit, and soul. All the tests are to help you all become one." As soon as he finished speaking, the projection said again, "Absorb my projection. Stabilize the origin Tao. Unite the 3 forces." Before he finished speaking, Fong Ping grabbed his projection. Then he opened his mouth wide and swallowed it in one gulp. Gulp! Someone gulped. This guy was really savage. Fong Ping, on the other hand, was slowly comprehending at this moment. Suddenly, he felt some changes in his origin world. In the next moment, he sensed a special force running amok in his origin world. Like glue, it gradually fused the various forces in his origin world together. Fong Ping was a little surprised. It was really effective. He thought this guy was just saying it casually. After sensing for a while, Fong Ping's eyebrows twitched. At this moment, he suddenly looked at the thin membrane in front of him. He felt that he could walk out and go to the next level. It was too easy. Fong Ping opened his eyes. Seeing Sheng Hong and the rest looking at him, he did not hide it. He said lazily, "It's easy. There's more than one projection. You guys create a few more, then eat him. You can almost pass the level." Everyone's expression changed again. Sheng Hong looked at Fong Ping, smiling stiffly. Then, "Fellow Nyo, are you still asleep?" Fong Ping said in surprise. "You're not asking me to create them, are you? If you want to pass the level, do it yourself. Kill a few people. A saint can almost condense a virtual image and help one person pass the level. It's a simple matter. If you want me to do it, I'll kill a few saints to help you." Their expressions stiffened even more. Fong Ping chuckled. "It's not necessary to kill people. It's vitality and vitality force. One of you can contribute some vitality." Sheng Hong laughed dryly. "We're already old." They were old. Their vitality was not strong enough. With a saint's vitality, even these 2 heavenly kings would be incomparably old and face the danger of dying after paying such a price. However, Fong Ping's vitality was really strong. He was too young, unbelievably young. His blood was also full of vitality. That was why Fong Ping could easily create the virtual image, but they could not. Unless they really killed a saint, Fong Ping could not be bothered with them. Just as he was about to leave, he suddenly paused and dripped blood again. Very quickly, the platform absorbed the blood and condensed the Beast Emperor virtual image again. This virtual image seemed to still remember Fong Ping. The way it looked at Fong Ping was a little strange. In the end, just as its head emerged, there was a rumble. Fong Ping hit the virtual image until it exploded. Fong Ping's big hands covered the sky, kneading the virtual image into a ball and throwing it into the cat's mouth. The cat was a little disgusted. Fong Ping laughed. "Eat it. You can't get out if you don't eat it. This place seems to be like this. I don't know what's the point of making these useless things." The cat reluctantly swallowed it. After a while, it said with some joy, "The cat world seems to have become more stable." "Yes, I do feel that way." Fong Ping was just about to leave when the cat said happily, "Don't go, liar. Continue to make meatballs. Continue eating. The more you eat, the better it might be." Fong Ping was stunned. "Yes, why didn't I think of that? I don't lack vitality. I actually forgot." Therefore, in the next moment, under everyone's dazed gaze, Fong Ping continued to drip blood. Very quickly, another virtual image condensed. Before it could speak, with a bang, Fong Ping blew it up, kneaded it into a ball, and swallowed it in one gulp. He continued to drip blood and continued to create. As soon as it appeared, bang, he blew it up. The meatball was swallowed. Everyone was stunned. Could this be done? There was no one else in the three realms who could do this, right? Not to mention whether they were in awe of the emperor or not. The key was that no one had such a strong vitality. At this moment, everyone watched in a daze as Fong Ping created those projections excitedly. Then, one after another, they shared the food with the fake tiger, eating with relish. At this moment, in ninth heaven, near the immortal origin, a domineering emperor frowned slightly, rubbing his forehead. Nearby, someone said in a low voice, "Old dragon, what's wrong?" "It's nothing." Although he said it was nothing, the beast emperor was still frowning. "I think I've been beaten up." Not only did he beat him up, it wasn't just once, but many times. After the beating, "I've even been eaten." Not just once, but many, many times. Am I hallucinating? I'm an emperor. The beast emperor frowned, unable to understand. After a long time, he suddenly said, "Is there a problem with the Myriad Realms Palace?" Someone looked at him doubtfully. "How did you know?" The beast emperor frowned, but did not explain. He felt uncomfortable anyway. Could it be that some of his origin fragments were intercepted, and then he was abused? Who was so bold? The beast emperor felt more and more aggrieved. This was not the first time. If this feeling only happened once, he might have ignored it. But many times, enough! The beast emperor suddenly shouted coldly. The feeling of ants constantly crawling on his chest made him feel more and more uncomfortable. Who the hell was this? P.S. Seeking monthly votes. I'm about to be overtaken. There are only 2 days left. How miserable. Chapter 1291. Azura Field. Fong Ping and the cat were enjoying their meal to no end. In fact, this phantom was formed from his own life force mixed with some other forces. In other words, it was eating his own life force. But there were still some differences. Convert. Yes, this place was a converter, converting Fong Ping's strength into another type of strength, helping him to integrate his origin and other strengths. Fong Ping was elated. As for the depletion of vitality, an apparition's vitality was comparable to a saint's. In fact, the consumption was extremely high. Even Fong Ping could not afford to deplete so much. However, the drop of blood he had fused with earlier had a frighteningly rich life force. Although Fong Ping had consumed a lot of energy, in his opinion, it was worth it. The drop of blood's power had also been fusing with it, but it had been very slow. Now it could only be said that it was fusing at an accelerated rate. Fong Ping and the old cat were already smacking their lips as they ate. Awesome! The king character on the old cat's head was even more distorted now. Fong Ping ate the meatball and even reminded it, "Big cat, tiger, your king character is crooked." The cat nodded its head and rubbed its paw on its forehead, straightening the king character. After rubbing it for a while, he asked, "Liar, are you still crooked? Will others recognize me?" "You can't recognize me, right?" Fong Ping was not sure. He turned around to look at the dumbfounded people and smiled. Do you recognize it? Silence. The next moment, King Ping Shan hurriedly said with a laugh, I can't recognize it. This tiger demon is so domineering. Just as he praised, the cat muttered, Liar, is he a fool? He actually can't recognize me. King Ping Shan wanted to cry. It was so hard to be a man. A group of people accompanied the two of them in their act. They watched as the two of them killed the Beast Emperor countless times and ate the Beast Emperor. Don't the two of you want to avoid being recognized? I'm here to support you. Just like that, he was scolded by a cat. It's so hard to be a human. Sheng Hong took a deep breath, suppressing all his emotions. Watching Fong Ping kill another Beast Emperor, he said in a low voice, Fellow, no. He didn't even want to pretend anymore. It was really uncomfortable to shout. However, he still continued, Fellow Taoist, you can't continue anymore? Fellow Taoist, haven't you noticed that there seems to be some problems with the Azure Arena? It was becoming more and more illusory. If this went on, it would probably collapse. The mysterious power here should be the existence that maintains the checkpoint. But now, this power is about to disappear. Where did the mysterious power go? Eaten by Fong Ping and the cat. Every time they killed a Beast King, they would take away some of its mysterious power. If this continued, this place would collapse. Fong Ping laughed. Isn't it good? If he collapsed, he might have passed the test. Everyone was speechless. For a moment, he did not know what to say. Isn't it good? It felt pretty good. He didn't even need to pass the stage. But the challenge was for the benefits. If there were no benefits, why would they come in? But now, were there any benefits? Not one bit. There were no benefits at all. There was no justice in this world. These two weren't trying to clear the stage. They were trying to take away all the good stuff. Fong Ping did not care about others. If he could reap the benefits, why would he not? At this moment, Fong Ping could not be more comfortable. The source origin continued to fuse. He could feel it. He could feel it. This time, the source world had not expanded, but his basic strength had increased. This power came from the source world. In the past, it would only be fused when one's body expanded, fusing the origin energy into one's body. This time, however, it was completely different. The saint-level Great Tao that Fong Ping had previously connected was crumbling slightly, but Fong Ping did not care. He could feel that his brain nucleus seemed to be fusing with the source world. After the source world fused, his strength continued to increase. Perhaps the explosive power was not much different from before, but Fong Ping understood the benefits. One was still an external force, while the other was turning external force into his own strength. This was completely different. Fong Ping was delighted and more satisfied. He patted the cat's head vigorously, exclaiming, Big cat, tiger, you still know how to eat. Previously, I was thinking of leaving after eating one dish. I didn't expect you to think of eating more. So smart. The cat nodded proudly. When it came to eating, this cat had never been afraid of anyone. Liar, do you want to dip it in some sauce before eating? No need. This is just a force, not real meat. Next time, when we really kill a Beast King, we'll dip it in sauce and eat it. All right then. Everyone's teeth hurt when they heard this. They could not take it anymore. They felt that they really could not take it anymore. Rumble. At this moment, the Shiraba began to shake. Fong Ping killed another Beast King, then frowned and said, Something's wrong. It seems like the projection formation is slower, and the force is also a little weaker. Yes. The cat swallowed the meatball in one gulp, nodded and said, It's not as delicious as before. It's tasteless. In that case, the force is almost exhausted. Fong Ping sensed for a while and said, This place should be actively absorbing some mysterious force. Maybe it will recover soon. I don't know. The man and the cat chatted enthusiastically. Fong Ping got up and was about to leave. The others' expressions kept changing. King Ping Shan also said anxiously, Sir, do you have more? Why don't you give me a meatball? I'll do anything for you, sir, without hesitation. He could also see that it seemed to be more difficult to form a phantom in this place. As for Fong Ping, he did not want to continue and was ready to leave this place. If he left, and this place did not collapse, what would happen to the rest of them? Should they continue to wait or fight? King Pingshan shuddered. He instantly understood Fong Ping's sinister intentions. Fong Ping did it on purpose. He did not want to destroy this level. Instead, he wanted to let this level continue to exist. In this way, if he wanted to condense a projection, he might have succeeded by killing one saint previously. Then now it might be 3. Killing 3 saints might condense a phantom, allowing a powerhouse to leave this place and enter the next level. Fong Ping did not do anything. Perhaps once he left, a massacre would happen next. Heavenly Plant. At this moment, Sheng Hong was also transmitting his voice to Heavenly Plant. At their level, they were not that stupid. At this moment, Sheng Hong said anxiously, "He's gone. I'm afraid we can't break through this level anymore." Previously, if one of them lost some vitality, it might allow us to break through and leave. Now he's absorbed too much mysterious force. If he's gone, we the rest of us might not be able to leave. Fong Ping was too evil. 18 people. If he left, the remaining 17 people might only let 2 heavenly kings leave after killing all the martial artists below the heavenly king rank. Or killing a heavenly king should be able to let 1 person leave. Such sinister intentions were even more ruthless than directly attacking. Having said that, Sheng Hong transmitted his voice again. "I think I know what the power here is. The power of returning to one. The true power of returning to one. A special fusion power. A power that can only be obtained when a martial emperor proves his Tao. It can help us break through 8 levels and integrate the power of the origin. This kind of power is extremely rare. Even emperors can only produce such power in large quantities at the moment of achieving Tao. At other times, they need to integrate it bit by bit." As soon as he said that, Heavenly Plant's expression changed slightly. The unity power that integrated the origin? This was the path that must be taken to break through 8 levels. Powerhouses who had broken through 8 levels were all working hard for unity, but integrating it was extremely difficult. Now, listening to what Sheng Hong said, the Beast Emperor's projection formed this power. Heavenly Plant's gaze changed. He transmitted his voice. "You mean, this power was absorbed by him? Then we can absorb this power of his." Heavenly Plant's expression did not change, but a storm was brewing in his heart. Sheng Hong wanted to attack. He wanted to kill Fong Ping. He was too ambitious. Heavenly Plant cursed in his heart. Sheng Hong had not been in the 3 realms for long. The only time he had contact with Fong Ping was the last time. Last time, Fong Ping did not really attack them. He mainly ordered others to kill the inspectors. Although Sheng Hong knew a little about Fong Ping, it did not mean that he had experienced it firsthand. Heavenly Plant felt uneasy. Sheng Hong was courting death. "No, neither you nor I have broken through 7 levels. Even if we join forces with a few saints, we might not be his match. Wait. We must wait. Wait for the others to come and gather together. Then we can fight him. Then this place. There's no rush." Heavenly Plant said quickly, "There will definitely be others coming here. As long as someone succeeds in breaking through, then they might come to this level. Moreover, if he leaves, there are still many people here. There are still 2 saints in the divine sect. Now that you and I know how to break through, killing the saints is easier." Heavenly Plant said gloomily. He would rather kill the others. No, he would rather fight Sheng Hong to the death and fight Fong Ping. Killing Sheng Hong would also guarantee 100% success in breaking through. Why did he want to kill Fong Ping? Fong Ping, who had broken through 7, had reaped many benefits this time. Heavenly Plant was not willing to fight Fong Ping. Unless Li Zhu was here, he would not dare and could not do so. Sheng Hong heard his rejection and felt a little unwilling. Fong Ping had taken too many things away. The fusion power of unification. This was the most important thing in this level. It was also the only thing. Now that Fong Ping had taken so many of them, Fong Ping was practically cheating to farm this power. This power was definitely not meant for one person to use. It was meant for many people. As the 2 of them were discussing, Fong Ping suddenly turned around, glanced at them, and smiled. Fong Ping smiled, his gaze a little strange. he said with a grin. What are the two of you talking about telepathically? Heavenly Plant's expression did not change. Just as he was about to speak, Fong Ping said mildly, this little tiger of mine has a mentality as high as 200,000 hertz. A voice transmission at 7 levels shouldn't be able to block it. A voice transmission at 8 levels, if we pay attention, we might be able to block it. As soon as he said that, both of their expressions changed. They had forgotten about this. Fong Ping stared at the two of them with a half-smile. At this moment, the cat jumped on a Fong Ping's shoulder, like a fox borrowing the tiger's might, and said arrogantly, this tiger heard you. Fong Ping burst out laughing, regaining his composure. He said mildly, I'm giving you a chance. You must know how to cherish it. There's still many levels. I don't really want to do anything now, in case no one knows how to clear the levels in the end, and there's no way to continue. However, Fong Ping looked at Sheng Hong and said playfully, do you know why Celestial Terminus said that your matter had nothing to do with him? Because you're too stupid, you know? Sheng Hong's expression was stiff. Patrol, after staying in the crack of the door for 8,000 years, his head must have been clamped shut. His brain isn't working well. After killing 6 heavenly kings and 8 saints, he still hasn't woken up. Do you think that I didn't kill them myself? And that you could do something with just me alone? Fong Ping smiled playfully, saying with a grin, Heavenly Plant, tell me, if you kill a heavenly king and condense a beast emperor projection, which heavenly king do you think is more suitable to kill? Heavenly Plant was silent. He did not utter a word. However, if he really wanted to kill a heavenly king, even a fool would know who to choose. However, he could not say this now. The 2 heavenly kings still had some confidence in resisting Fong Ping. If he said this now, once he fell out with Sheng Hong, then in this place, everything would really be done according to Fong Ping's wishes, and he would have the final say on who to kill. Everyone had made this kind of mistake many times. This time, Heavenly Plant did not want to make it again. Even if he did not agree with Sheng Hong, he would not add insult to injury now because he would really die. Not only Sheng Hong, but there was a high possibility that he would also be killed. Fong Ping laughed again, saying, you become smarter now. 2 heavenly kings, 3 saints. If they really joined forces, it would indeed be a little troublesome. However, little tiger, someone has underestimated you. Do you think you can entangle a heavenly king? The cat lying on his shoulder looked smug. I can't. The cat was immensely proud. This cat had become stronger. Its physical strength was already close to 4 million calories. Of course, this strength could only be said to be close to the saint realm, comparable to a saint but not as good as a heavenly king. However, its mentality was strong. It could intimidate a heavenly king, and its physical strength was strong. Although it could not kill a heavenly king, it could still entangle a heavenly king. Fong Ping smiled brightly, looking at the two of them. Heavenly Plant took a deep breath and said, what do you want? Fong Ping laughed. I don't want anything. If I kill you now, I won't gain anything. A bunch of poor bastards. If I kill you, what will I get? I'm a kind-hearted person. I can't be bothered to do anything that doesn't benefit me. If I really want to fight to the death, I might even get hurt. It's not worth it. There are still many old fellows waiting for me to kill. Heavenly Plant and the rest were speechless. Fong Ping said mildly, forget about the rest. 2 heavenly kings, 1 holy weapon each. Saints want emperor weapons. Emperors want divine weapons, true gods. It's hard to say if they can survive later. I can't be bothered to ask for money from the dead. At this moment, Sheng Hong and the rest looked gloomy. Not only did Fong Ping take away the benefits of this round, but he also wanted to collect protection fees from them. No, he was robbing them. This was too much. Fong Ping looked at them indifferently, not saying a word. Sheng Hong said slowly, if you don't give, don't give. Fong Ping grinned. Then forget it. I'm an easy person to negotiate with. Even though he said forget it, at this moment, no one could feel happy. A strong sense of humiliation filled the 2 heavenly kings' minds. They felt like exploding. The heavenly kings were the top powerhouses in the 3 realms. Now, someone wanted to rob them. Fong Ping yawned. A phone appeared in his hand. After checking the time, Fong Ping said in surprise, "The power is out? We can't use phones anymore?" This place's rules are similar to the catacombs. What time is it now? Everyone was speechless. Don't waste my time. My time is very precious. Every minute is an opportunity to break through 7 or 8 times. Tell me, are you going to give it or not? Heavenly Plant looked at him and said in a low voice, "If I give it to you, you'll leave?" "Of course." Heavenly Plant looked at Sheng Hong. Sheng Hong said in a low voice, "Without a weapon, your combat strength will drop. It'll be more dangerous." Fong Ping laughed and looked at Heavenly Plant. Heavenly Plant suppressed all his emotions and said in a low voice, "I can give it to you. Give it to me." Heavenly Plant was provoked by his attitude. He wanted to fight him to the death, but in the end, he gritted his teeth and threw a long whip to Fong Ping. Annoyed. However, annoyance could not solve the problem. If they really wanted to fight Fong Ping, the 2 heavenly kings and 3 saints might not be afraid of him. But could they really be of one mind? The saint only needed an emperor weapon. Even Saint Tianji was preparing a weapon. Obviously, this person was almost killed by Fong Ping last time. Now, he did not dare to go against Fong Ping. If the other 2 saints had not saved him and brought him away, he would have been killed by Fong Ping long ago. Heavenly Plant gave a saint weapon. Tianji was almost the second to give a weapon. It was a short spear. It was not the weapon he used. He used a saint token, but it was taken away by Fong Ping last time. However, Fong Ping remembered it clearly. At this moment, Fong Ping took the short spear with a chuckle. Then, he threw it back. "Saint Tianji, just give me a saint token. I'll give you an emperor weapon. It's about the same value." Everyone was stunned. Could it be done like this? Tianji gave him an emperor weapon. He actually asked for a saint token. Then, he gave the emperor weapon's change to Tianji. Tianji frowned slightly. Fong Ping said indifferently, "Is your life more important or the saint token? The others, including this Sheng Hong, may not be my targets. But the one holding the saint token, are you really not afraid?" Tianji had a saint token. When he came here previously and encountered danger, he took it out. It should be given to him by King Kuan. Tianji looked bitter. He almost forgot that this was not Fong Ping. It was Niu Meng. Niu Meng, who came with them. Tianji sighed. He said nothing more. He took the long spear and quietly threw the saint token over. Fong Ping smiled. 35. He only lacked the last saint token in Tianbai's hands. Tianji gave it to him. Fong Ping smiled. "What about the others?" The governor glanced at Heavenly Plant. Heavenly Plant nodded slightly. The governor was a little aggrieved. He also threw a shield, an emperor weapon. As for his hand, there was actually a long spear, a saint weapon. These people had compromised. No matter how unwilling Sheng Hong was, he had no choice now. A short sword appeared. It was also a saint weapon. He threw it at Fong Ping. Fong Ping laughed and took the short sword. At this time, he looked at Yu Ping. The powerhouse, under the emperor's command, was a little helpless. She said in a low voice, "I have just recovered. I don't have anything left." She was very poor. She had no money. Tianji saw this and said in a low voice, "That saint token just now came from the divine sect. It counts as mine and Yu Ping's. Is that okay?" Fong Ping raised his eyebrows and smiled. "Sure. I don't take advantage of people." Tianji, well done. You still know how to be a protector at a time like this. You have a bright future. I have high hopes for you. Saint Yu Ping, you have a bright future if you follow Tianji. If you follow Yuan Gang, I think you won't live more than 3 days. Huh? Fong Ping smiled brightly. Saint Yu Ping's expression changed slightly. She did not say anything. "It's about time. I'll leave first. Everyone enjoy yourselves." Fong Ping sighed. "It's so easy to break through. It's so boring." After saying this, he was about to leave. King Ping Shan was about to cry. This place was very dangerous. He wanted to leave. "Sir, take me with you." "Sir, it's easy to be suspected if I'm alone. I'll be at your beck and call." "Song, Tiger also needs someone to take care of it. I heard that Lord Tiger likes to brush people's fur. I've had this talent since I was young. For the first time, everyone witnessed the shamelessness of a true god. A true god in order to survive, in order to leave with Fong Ping. At this moment, he could even tell such a lie. He had this talent since he was young. Would anyone believe it? No one believed it. Even the cat did not believe it. It said suspiciously, "You're not fat, Bang." He was bloated. Almost in an instant, King Ping Shan had turned into a chubby man. With a big smile on his face, he said, "Lord Tiger, I'm actually very fat. It's just that I don't usually show it. I'm good at brushing my hair." King Ping Shan had refreshed everyone's understanding of true gods. King Huai was already shameless enough. Now, King Ping Shan was no less shameless. In fact, he was even more shameless. Fong Ping was mentally exhausted. He tossed the cat over casually. "If you can brush it, I'll take you with me." Rumble. King Ping Shan was almost crushed to death by this cat. Then his face turned red. Using all his strength, he hugged the cat with both hands and panted, "I could do it." The cat turned its head to look at him blankly, then at Fong Ping. The liar had tossed the cat away again. "Huh?" Fong Ping laughed and tossed over a meatball that he had condensed earlier that he had yet to eat. King Ping Shan was extremely excited. He hurriedly swallowed it. Then his face turned red and his flesh crackled. This was much more obvious than Fong Ping and the others. Almost in the blink of an eye, everyone could even feel his aura becoming stronger. Vaguely, there was an emperor's aura. Fong Ping was also stunned for a moment. So obvious? He really did not expect it. This time, Fong Ping was a little annoyed. He had eaten too much, leaving only 5 or 6 untouched. He still did not know if he could bring them out. If he had known this would happen, he would not have wasted them like this. King Ping Shan was also overjoyed. This thing was actually so powerful. Sheng Hong, on the other hand, was not surprised. This thing was very useful for those who had broken through 7. Those who had broken through 8 wanted it. For a true god, it was naturally a treasure. Now, if he wanted to condense a projection, he might need to spend the life of a heavenly king to condense it. If even a true god could not obtain great benefits from it, then he would really be a waste. Fong Ping did not hesitate. He laughed and said, "Let's go. There should be more of these things in front. I'll collect more and bring them back to Ox God Island. I'll leave first." Fong Ping stepped forward and soon entered the thin membrane area. The thin membrane that could not be bombarded earlier opened up a passage at this time. Fong Ping stepped out. King Ping Shan carried the cat and quickly stepped in. As soon as they left, the crack that opened up the thin membrane disappeared very quickly. Only then did Sheng Hong let out a cold humph, his expression extremely gloomy. Tianji murmured, "It's good stuff. What a pity." It was a pity that Fong Ping had killed too many times and absorbed too much energy. Now one heavenly king had to exchange for one avatar. Where could he exchange it to? He glanced around with his peripheral vision. At this time, the other true gods, emperors, and saints had gathered together, including the viceroy. These people were extremely vigilant. Together, they could probably condense 1 or 2 such avatars, enough for the 2 heavenly kings. Even if it was not enough, the 2 heavenly kings should be able to leave after paying some price. But what about them? They did not want to become the souls of the 2 heavenly kings. The 2 heavenly kings did not speak, as if they were thinking about their own things. In fact, at this moment, Sheng Hong transmitted his voice again. "What should we do? Do we really have to keep waiting? Wait for the others to come? If another powerhouse comes and breaks through 7 or even 8 times, how do we deal with it?" Tianji did not answer. Instead, he asked, "If we go out, will we be together with Fong Ping in the next round or separately? It should be random. Don't say should." Tianji was dissatisfied. If he was still with Fong Ping in the next round, he might as well die. Then let's wait for him to leave. It shouldn't take long for him to break through. But this place, then let's wait a little longer. Maybe we don't have to kill. Tianji glanced at the viceroy from the corner of his eye. This was his colleague in the past and also his colleague now. If he killed the viceroy, once Hong Yu and the rest found out, it would be a great crime. If he did not kill, the 2 saints and the rest might not be enough. Fong Ping had left them with an incomparably huge problem. If they waited here, they would fail to break through the round. or kill them and seize some of the fusion energy. That energy was very important and very rare. To the two heavenly kings, this was a fatal temptation. Niu Meng, Fong Ping, Tianji suddenly smiled and shook his head, unspeakably helpless. Chapter 1292. Wealth, 275 billion points vitality, 3,530,000 calories, 3,530,000 calories, mentality, 31,200 hertz, 31,200 hertz, jade bones, 20% origin world, 915 meters combat techniques, god-slaying sword techniques, plus 10%, origin path, plus 195%, pseudo-path, return to 1, spiritualism path, 100 calories vitality to 1 hertz mentality physique path, 1 hertz mentality to 100 calories vitality, irreversible, strength control, 91% extreme outburst, 979, 7515 cal, / 10766500 cal. After leaving the Beast Emperor stage, Fong Ping felt like the world had been turned upside down. In that instant, Fong Ping checked his stats. His wealth had increased by tens of billions, but he did not look at it. The key was that some of the fusion earlier had changed his stats. His strength was about the same as before, but the meaning was different. His basic vitality had increased by 30,000 calories. His jade bone honing had increased by 3%. His mentality had increased by a few hundred hertz, and his strength control had increased by 1%. His strength was still the same, but the increase of origin path had decreased by 5%. After the increase of origin path decreased by 5%, Fong Ping's strength did not change much, but his outburst was stronger than before. This was returned to 1. After looking at the stats, his eyes lit up. Fong Ping once again experienced the feeling of time and space spinning. At this moment, Fong Ping was ready to attack, in case he encountered an enemy ambush. But it seemed like he was not attacked. It was very quiet. It was not very quiet either. At this moment, someone was looking at him, and his gaze was very unfriendly. Fong Ping fixed his gaze and was stunned. Yes, this time he was really stunned. Who did I meet? An old acquaintance. So familiar that it could not be more familiar. Fatty, warlord. At this moment, the War King was sitting on a table like a student, reading a book in his hands. Fong Ping was still in Niu Meng's disguise, so Warlord did not recognize him. Warlord continued reading, glancing at Fong Ping and snorting, a little unhappy. The reason why he was not alert was because a group of people had just arrived. At this moment, Warlord was not the only one in the pavilion. Including Warlord, there were a total of 5 people. If Fong Ping was included, there would be 6 people. There were not many people, much less than Fong Ping's previous group. Warlord looked indifferent. He had been here for a long time, and he was used to it. It was good to have a few fellows here today. However, he was still in a bad mood. Just when he thought he could solve the mystery, someone suddenly came and interrupted his train of thought. Damn it! The warlord was displeased, but the others were shocked. Aside from the warlord, there were 4 other people here. 1 saint and 3 real gods. He wasn't that strong, and he didn't know how the stages were distributed. Anyway, the War King wasn't threatened, or else he wouldn't have had the time to continue reading. The sage was none other than Sheng Nan, a disciple of the Western Emperor. Fong Ping actually knew true gods as well. Huayu, Ji Yao, and a true god of Medicine God Island. There were no experts in this place. How could Sheng Nan dare to provoke the War King? There were so many human experts here, and he couldn't wait to get as far away from them as possible. Therefore, even though he saw the War King here, he was shocked that there were outsiders here, and that the humans had actually arrived first. However, he didn't dare to say anything, since the Battle King had come. Who knew who else would come from the human race? So what if he had killed the Battle King? If he couldn't break through, he wouldn't be able to leave. Once the experts of the human race came, he would be courting death. At this moment, the others were also looking at Fong Ping in surprise. Why was he here? Logically speaking, everyone had entered together, so they should have split up at different stages. However, why was this island Lord Niu here halfway? This was too strange. Could it be? the few of them were in disbelief. Could it be that he had broken through? That was too fast. Actually, it hadn't been that long. Fong Ping had only stayed at the Beast Emperor stage for about half an hour. The War King ignored him and continued to read. His head hurt, and he didn't even look at Fong Ping. He asked Sheng Nan, "How do you pronounce this word?" Sheng Nan's expression was stiff. Ever since he was here, the War King had started asking him questions, such as, how to pronounce this word. The War King was illiterate and uncultured. The others were the same. Only Sheng Nan was from the older generation of ancient times, so he knew. The key was that knowing was useless, because he didn't know how to get out. At this moment, the War King's questions made him a little annoyed. This guy kept asking, why didn't he have a clue? He only knew how to ask, but he didn't know how to do anything. He was frustrated. The War King was frustrated too. He had been here for a long time. He was waiting until he wanted to die. If no one came, he felt that he would really be driven crazy. He was reading a bunch of books that he didn't know every day. It was so boring. Sheng Nan ignored the War King and looked at Fong Ping, slightly wary. He asked hesitantly, "Fellow Nyo, you've broken through?" Fong Ping didn't say anything. He looked behind him and waited for a while. Soon, the space fluctuated, and King Pingshan came with the cat. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. He was actually prepared to be separated from the cat. He felt that after breaking through one stage, they might not still be together. However, the cat was still quite powerful. Even if it encountered a heavenly king, it might not be much. But now, it actually followed him here. In that case, after breaking through one stage, these people were actually together when they went out? The War King also glanced casually. When he saw King Pingshan, he was stunned. So fat. What was going on? When did King Pingshan become so fat? A true god could put on weight? He was not the only one who was stunned. Hua Yu and Ji Yao were also stunned. What was wrong with King Pingshan? Why was he holding Niu Ming's little tiger in his hand? Seeing that they had arrived, Fong Ping no longer paid attention to them. He looked at Sheng Nan and smiled. I've broken through. Heavenly King Xinghong was there in the previous stage. He was so polite and insisted on giving me something. I couldn't refuse his kindness, so I accepted it. I didn't expect to meet Saint Sheng Nan in this stage. Island Master Neo met eldest senior brother. Sheng Nan was still a little excited. Eldest senior brother broke through too? Not really. The weaker one is the easier it is to break through. Heavenly King Xinghong is too strong. Sheng Nan believed him. At this moment, Ji Yao and Hua Yu looked at each other. Both their expressions changed. Fong Ping. It was this guy. There was no other reason. His tone. It was fine if they had not met before. Now that they had met, and looking at King Pingshan's expression as if he was looking at his own father, if not for Fong Ping, both of them would have chopped off their heads. Both of them had met Fong Ping not once or twice, but many times. Fong Ping was the kind of person who would blurt out all kinds of lies without any preparation. Not only them, but the War King also looked at Fong Ping suspiciously. This guy was a little familiar. He had not seen him before, but he felt a little familiar. Fong Ping chuckled. What is this place for? How do I break through? As soon as he finished speaking, someone outside growled, "Read the books properly." As soon as the words came out, Fong Ping did not react, but the cat suddenly bristled. Meow! The cat turned around and ran, as if it had heard an extremely frightened sound. Its tail stood up high. The word king was now completely crooked, and the cat's tiger face was contorted. Run! Run! Bang! The cat crashed into the wall, but it did not let go of the wall. It wanted to run. It wanted to die. Stunned, the corner of the War King's mouth twitched wildly. This cat! He looked at Fong Ping again. What fellow Taoist Neo this bastard? Fong Ping? Fong Ping also looked at the cat in a daze. At this moment, King Pingshan had already been kicked away by the cat, and was also hanging on the wall. No one cared about him. The cat crawled along the wall like a gecko. Meow. No. Meow. I'm not reading. Go catch the big dog. Don't catch the cat. The cat trembled. No, I won't do it. I don't read. It's so miserable. Sheng Nan was stunned. He looked at Fong Ping, then at the cat. At this moment, The tiger's stripes were almost gone. Was this not that cat? That Niu Meng? Fong Ping? Sheng Nin swallowed. His only thought was eldest senior brother still alive? Fong Ping said that eldest senior brother gave him something. Did he give his head to Fong Ping? Fong Ping looked at his terrified expression and could not be bothered with him. He took a step forward, grabbed the cat's tail, and asked hurriedly, "What's wrong?" "Meow, I don't read, I can't read, cats can't read, don't." The cat grabbed the wall with its claws and refused to let go. It turned its head to look at Fong Ping pitifully, looking miserable. It had never been so miserable before. Fong Ping seemed to think of something and frowned. "This is Heavenly Emperor Zhan's territory, or Heavenly Emperor Exterminates territory. Heavenly Emperor Exterminates territory used to lock it in a small black house. This cat still held a grudge, and later used the Hall of Myriad Origins as an iron pot. Heavenly Emperor Exterminates territory seemed to have caught Heavenly Hound and made it study. After Heavenly Hound returned, it dared not go near Heavenly Battle Palace anymore. It was more afraid than annihilation. Where was this place? Meow. That just now was the cat was shivering at this moment. After thinking for a while, it said, "That's that blood-red guy's boy's servant. Meow, it's so scary. I want to study, but I'll get beaten if I don't. I don't give you food. I don't give you water. I lock you up every day. It's even scarier than Big Blackface. Meow. I'm not even close to him. Why would I catch a cat?" The cat felt wronged. "I won't even provoke you." Among the 9 emperors and 4 emperors, it did not go to Heavenly Battle Palace. It was afraid that it would be caught and thrown into a small black house to study. It was too miserable. Fong Ping understood now. Heavenly Emperor Battle's lair. Was this Heavenly Battle Palace? The things that appeared in this place, such as the Shiraba, actually existed. Was this place Heavenly Battle Palace? Right now, Heavenly Battle Palace was with him. Fong Ping often went in to take a look and rest. At this moment, Fong Ping raised his head and took a look at the pavilion. It did not feel familiar. There was a study in Heavenly Battle Palace, but it was not like this. This is not Heavenly Battle Palace, right? Meow. The cat said pitifully, "No, that guy likes peace and quiet. He doesn't like crowds, but he likes to force people to study, so he built a small school outside for lessons. Those who are disobedient will be caught to study." As soon as the words came out, Sheng Nin could not care less anymore. He seemed to have come to a sudden realization. This is Battle Hall? No wonder it felt familiar. I also guessed it was Heavenly Emperor Battle's place. So it's Battle Hall? As he said that, he said with some seriousness, This place is Battle Hall. Then there might be more than just us here. Battle Hall is not just one dormitory, but many. There might be other people here." Fong Ping looked at him. Sheng Nin suddenly became dispirited, his face perturbed. At this moment, with a bang, Warlord punched Fong Ping's shoulder. He laughed and said angrily, "You brat, you've finally come to save me." Fong Ping was dumbfounded. What did you mean by that tone and expression of a resentful wife? Warlord had been holding it in for a long time. He felt wronged. "I said I couldn't come, but that old fart kicked me in, saying that his Li Jun has a future and I can't come here to die. Does that mean I don't have a future? It's fine if you come, but you've been locked up here for so long. The sky is dark and the earth is dark. There's no response from the heavens and earth. It was too miserable." Warlord was about to cry. Fong Ping had finally come to save him. Warlord's fat fist hammered Fong Ping. Fong Ping dodged it quietly. This old guy was so disgusting. "Were you using your fat fist to hit my chest? You just came in not long ago. Did you have to do this? I'm just asking you to study more, not to die. Why are you so wronged? I don't even want to talk to you anymore. I don't know you." Warlord was still complaining. He said with a long face, "It's been more than a year." "Wait," Fong Ping interrupted. "What do you mean by more than a year? You only left in May. It's only early June now. At most, it's only been a month. How is it more than a year?" Warlord was stunned. "No, I've probably been here for a year. If it was really a month, I wouldn't be so agitated. It's been a year. That's why I'm so aggrieved." At this moment, Sheng Nan said in a low voice, In this boundary point, time and space are chaotic. Maybe there's a difference in the flow of time. Even time is involved? Fong Ping was a little shocked. This place was involved in the flow of time? For powerhouses, the isolation, division, and shattering of space were all things that they could come into contact with and control. There was really no such thing as the flow of time. Shengnan said hurriedly, "This place is too special. That's why it might have such an effect. Actually, it might be a kind of illusory world. Just like our spiritual communication, we might talk for a long time in reality, but our spiritual contact might be completed in an instant. This place might also be in such a state." My eldest senior brother, halfway through his sentence, he asked Shenghong again. Fong Ping said impatiently, "He's not dead. I didn't kill him for the sake of Celestial's fate. This guy was courting death. He tried to join forces with Tianji to kill me several times. Things don't happen more than 3 times. He better pray that he doesn't meet me again. If he does, I'll kill him directly." Shengnan breathed a sigh of relief and hurriedly smiled. Eldest senior brother doesn't know about the king of man's reputation. He just descended not long ago. As he said that, he himself could not continue. Eldest senior brother was so stupid. So many powerhouses had been killed previously. Did he still not learn his lesson? The prince was right. It was really dangerous to follow eldest senior brother. Had eldest senior brother become a little muddle-headed after not descending for 8,000 years? At this moment, Fong Ping was not in the mood to care about him. He grabbed the cat's tail and lifted it up, comforting it. "What are you afraid of? Even Heavenly Emperor Zhan is finished. It's just a projection. Old Wang is the reincarnation of Heavenly Emperor Zhan. I don't see you being afraid of him. Besides, what's the big deal about studying? It's not like you're going to die." Meow. The cat was still wailing, mumbling, "So scary. You've never been caught before. If you're afraid, it's the heavenly dog. What are you afraid of?" Meow. "I've been caught before." The cat was miserable. "When Big Dog was caught, I came to save him. Then, meow, I was discovered. That bad guy caught me and gave me a book. He asked me to memorize it before leaving. I don't know how to do it." Fong Ping was surprised. "You've been caught before? You didn't say anything." "Then?" The cat wailed. "Then I called Big Fatty in the origin. Then, Big Fatty didn't come to save me. She didn't save me. Bad. What happened in the end?" Fong Ping was curious. "How did you leave in the end?" Based on the cat's behavior, it seemed like it was illiterate. In the end, it obviously did not memorize it. Did that mean that it was let go? The cat said miserably, In the end, I could only explode my golden body. The origin ran away. Then I went out and condensed another golden body. Then I ran away and didn't dare to come again." Fong Ping was stunned. He was not stunned, but the cat said an invincible life-saving method. He had never thought of this problem. At this moment, he was suddenly shocked by the cat's life-saving ability. This cat, it could roam the origin. In order not to study, it actually exploded its golden body and escaped from the origin world. How much did it hate studying? The key point was that the cat had never mentioned this before. If he had known that it could be like this, he would not have been so worried about the cat's safety. Just like that, who could kill it? It was almost impossible for an origin martial artist to kill it. However, beginner martial artists could. Fong Ping suddenly realized something. Was beginner martial heaven and earth targeted at powerhouses, or was it targeted at cats? Sealing the cat's origin. Did these people realize that it was almost impossible to kill the cat, unless they sealed its origin so that it had no way to escape? Fong Ping stared at the cat for a while. The cat looked sad. Fong Ping looked at it and laughed. "You exploded your golden body just because you didn't want to study?" "Yes. Your mentality is so strong. You should have learned it if you studied a little, right?" "But why do I need to read books?" The cat looked at him strangely. "Cats don't study. Why must I study?" "If I study, I won't be a cat anymore." "But I am a cat." He could not refute. He was speechless. He had nothing to say. Fong Ping was helpless. Warlord also agreed. "Yes, Heavenly Emperor Zhan is sick. If you want to study, then so be it. The key is that I don't know these ancient words. There's no one to teach me. Just because of this, I've been locked up for a year. Warlord gritted his teeth. I gone back. When I see Wang Jinyang, I'll beat him up first. Fong Ping was powerless. He said impatiently, take a break. He went back a few days ago. His strength is average. He only has the strength of a saint. However, I feel that he's not far from a heavenly king. Let me remind you, take it easy. Don't let him destroy your old bones. Warlord's expression stiffened. There was such a thing? He had the strength of a saint? If that was the case, there was no way to take revenge. Fong Ping was too lazy to say anything. He looked at the books in the room and asked curiously, you guys have studied. Sheng, Nan should know how to read. She didn't go out either? Sheng Nan smiled bitterly. The others were embarrassed too. Knowing how to read had become an advantage. Ji Yao and Huayu looked at Fong Ping warily. Fong Ping glanced at them and said disdainfully, what are you looking at? I'll kill you with one slap. I can't be bothered with you. Huayu, you're good. Your grandfather actually dared to intervene in the war between humans and the catacombs. If not for old Zhang's consideration, I would have killed your grandfather with one slap. Huayu hurriedly bowed. Please forgive me, human king. Wang Zhu had no choice. Hong Yu and Lord Li forced him and used Huayu's advancement as a condition. Wang Zhu had no choice but to agree to intercept Di Xing. Tell your grandfather later that he won't be so lucky next time. Consider everything that happened before written off. However, you owe me a life now. Let your grandfather kill an emperor level to repay the debt. That's all. Huayu smiled bitterly but still said hurriedly, all right, Huayu will definitely pass on the message. Fong Ping did not say anything else. As for Ji Yao, Fong Ping said lightly, Ji Yao, if you're alive, focus on being a whetstone for Yunxi and my mentor. They should be able to ascend to the pinnacle very soon. You can be a target and let them train well. They can kill you. If you kill them, you and your father will be buried with them. Ji Yao did not say a word. She lowered her head. Only she understood how humiliated she was. Fong Ping was very insolent. However, everyone had gotten used to his insolence. Warlord was surprised. I thought you would kill them. You didn't do anything? I can't kill them. Fong Ping sighed. If I kill a true god and an emperor level, how will the human powerhouses train in the future? They're already heavenly kings and saints. Are they going to kill rank 9s? That's why we have to leave a batch of true gods. I understand Heavenly King Subduing's choice now. It's best not to kill a catacombs powerhouse if you can kill them. If you kill them, you won't even have a worthy opponent. Now that there are fewer true gods in the 3 realms, a batch of pinnacles will appear on the human side soon. Are they going to let the pinnacles fight heavenly kings every time? That makes sense. Warlord nodded. Fong Ping smiled. You too. You only have emperor-level strength. If an emperor level is killed, you won't have a place to train, right? Warlord's face darkened. He was still thinking about those pinnacles earlier. In the end, Fong Ping included him. He felt a little embarrassed. The few true gods did not say a word. They did not even raise their heads. There was nothing they could say. Listen, this was the reason why Fong Ping did not kill them. It was really heart-wrenching. Even Sheng Nan felt bitter. He was a saint. In that case, Fong Ping might also be training for the human race's saints? Was he afraid that if he killed you, there would be fewer saints and the human race would not have a worthy opponent? Fong Ping smiled and said, Big Cat, the one who spoke earlier was Heavenly Emperor Zhan's boy servant. Is it a real person or a projection? The cat shook its head. I don't know. Warlord frowned slightly. It's not a real person, right? He says the same thing every day. After saying it, he disappears. If it's a real person, wouldn't he be an idiot if he only says the same thing every day? Maybe it's just his voice. Sheng Nan explained, this place should be the battle hall. It was built by Heavenly Emperor Zhan in the past. Maybe the boy's servant kept scolding back then. That's why the boy's servant's voice was left behind in this round. Fong Ping nodded and said regretfully, Heavenly Emperor Zhan, if this is the same as the previous round, should I kill him? I killed the Beast Emperor more than 60 times in the previous round. Do I have to fight Heavenly Emperor like this? Sheng Nan's cheeks stiffened. If someone else said this, he would not believe it. He even thought it was crazy. But Fong Ping, he believed it. This guy was really a madman. He actually killed the Beast Emperor more than 60 times in the previous round. That, King of Man, emperors are incomparably powerful. If you killed the Beast Emperor is related to the real body. The Beast Emperor's real body might sense it. That's for the best, Fong Ping said disapprovingly. If he really doesn't know, I'll be very regretful. Even if I beat him, it would be a waste. If he knew, that would be great. I made him attack me previously. I killed his projection more than 60 times. Consider it interest. Having said that, Fong Ping waved one hand, and a book appeared in his hand. Fong Ping glanced at it and felt dizzy. Sorry, I can't read. I hate these learned fellows the most. They always make things difficult for illiterates like us. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. No wonder King of Man went crazy. If it were him, he would also go crazy if he stayed here for a year and still could not read a word. Old Wang was really a top student. Did he inherit it from Heavenly Emperor Zhan? Fong Ping was reading the book. Sheng Nan wanted to say something, but hesitated. After a while, he said in a low voice, King of Man, you have to read from the back. Ancient books are not read this way. Fong Ping said lightly, I know. I'm just flipping through. Nonsense, how can I not know? Isn't that how ancient books are read? Do I need you to remind me? I just forgot about it just now. It's fine if you can see it, but you still said it in front of everyone. Are you looking down on me? Sheng Nan also wanted to cry at this moment. It was so hard to be a human. Why did Fong Ping come in? Those bastards from the divine sect. They could have brought anyone but Fong Ping. Sigh, I hope Prince won't meet Fong Ping. Otherwise, Prince will suffer. But Prince knows what to do. There shouldn't be any danger to his life. He still had some confidence in Celestial Fate's life. He was afraid that Fong Ping would make things difficult for Prince. This person was really hard to serve. Sheng Nan was worried about Celestial Fate. Celestial Fate smashed the chessboard with a bang and said angrily, Enough, old man. Are you so cruel to your son? It's just a game of chess. You've won 80 games. That's enough. The chessboard recovered quickly. On the opposite side, a shadow looked up and smiled faintly. The game continues. If you don't break the game, you won't get out of this level. Celestial Fate said angrily, Next my ass. Just you wait. Let me tell you, if you push your son too hard, I'll call that bastard Fong Ping over. Let's see if he'll play chess with you. I'll crush your head. You still want to play chess? What the hell? You don't care about the father-son relationship at all. I was thinking that if you descended, I'd go to the 3 realms and discuss it with a few tough guys and bring you back to Western Palace to retire. Is this how you treat me? You still expect to retire? Just you wait to be beaten to death. Celestial Fate was extremely annoyed. Chess? What was there to play? He had lost until now. His head was about to explode. Believe it or not, your son won't be polite to you anymore? Celestial Fate fiddled with the chess pieces in boredom and helplessness. He muttered to himself weakly, I don't know if that bastard Fong Ping is coming or not. I'm serious. Although you're not my father and are just a shadow, at least you look the same as my father. If your head is really crushed by him, then it'll be so embarrassing. I won't fight Fong Ping to the death for a shadow like you. When the time comes, don't blame me for not caring about the father-son relationship. Emperor West Projection did not say anything and continued to play chess with him. Celestial Fate became more and more depressed as he played. What was he playing? Was he deliberately tricking his son? I was happy at first. I'm at my own father's level in the first level. The more familiar you are, the more you tricked me, right? Chapter 1293. Who knew? Sob, 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 I feel like this is the most dangerous time. If I were to be defeated, my face would be swollen. Brothers, please vote for me. I don't want to be slapped in the face. I'm already so old. Getting slapped in the face would be terrible. I feel like this should be the easiest time to get first place in the monthly votes. It's nothing much. If I really lose it, I'll lose it. However, I've been stable for 29 days. If I lose it in the last 2 days, I'll still be disappointed. Sob, sob, sob. Please support me with the monthly votes. Global High Martial Arts is stable. Please support me with the monthly votes and keep first place. Currently typing, please wait a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to get the latest update. Chapter 1294. In the pavilion, Fong Ping picked up a book and looked at it. He could not read it, so he tossed it to Sheng Nan. This was the only old antique here. Read it? What book is it? Sheng Nan did not dare to refuse. She took the book and said quickly, Anatomy. It's what humans call human anatomy now. Sheng Nan had learned some human martial arts theories these days. She explained, this is the content of the research on the human body by powerhouses in ancient times. Martial artists still need to understand these things when they cultivate. Fong Ping nodded. Read it to me. Since ancient times, those who reached the heavens were born in this, in yin and yang. Within the 6 directions, the chi of the 9 provinces, 9 orifices, 5 viscera, 12 joints, Sheng Nan read it out word by word. Fong Ping did not interrupt, listening attentively. Although he was illiterate, he could still understand some of the meaning of the ancient text after reading it out. Not only him, the few from the catacombs could also understand the meaning. It had to be said that those who had cultivated to the level of true God were no fools. They were all ancient people's research on the human body. The 5 viscera and 6 bowels, the 8 extraordinary meridians, the distribution of bones. This book, Physique Study, explained everything clearly. As powerhouses, it was not like these people had never killed before. They had dissected countless enemies. Their research on the human body was no less than that of modern people. It was just that some professional terms were different. Snore. Everyone was listening attentively, but an untimely snoring sound came. It made Sheng Nan pause, and Fong Ping's expression changed. He turned his head to look. The cat beside him had already fallen asleep next to him. It was sleeping soundly. This cat was still smacking its lips while asleep. Who knew if it was eating crazily in its cat world? Fong Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry. He finally understood why this cat was illiterate and did not read. It looked like a super bad student, falling asleep as soon as it heard the sound of reading. How could it be literate? Ignore it. Continue reading. Sheng Nan did not dare to delay and continued reading. The book did not look thin, but it was fast to read. Sheng Nan finished reading in no time. Fong Ping frowned slightly. This was the normal human anatomy. Fong Ping asked quickly, What books are the other ones? There were many books here. With a rough look, there were probably more than 100 of them. Sheng Nan picked up another book and glanced at it. She said, This is Taoism. In ancient times, some powerhouses used a basic cultivation method for their disciples to build their foundations. It's similar to the methods of honing that humans use today. But speaking of which, it still lacks some essence compared to the tempering method. Back then, the powerhouses didn't do much research on the weak. Sheng Nan explained, during that period of time, cultivation was still relatively difficult. Usually, martial artists would seek knowledge from all over the place. After learning some basics, they would then visit famous teachers. In this way, the strong don't need to care too much for the weak. Fong Ping nodded. He did not continue sitting. He walked to the side of the door and punched it. There was a loud bang, but the door did not react. Fong Ping furrowed his brows and continued. Continue reading. This place might release you after you finish reading. Try it. Sheng Nan looked at the hundreds of books and felt tired. It was still very tiring to read. Even if one was a powerhouse, reading these dry and boring basic subjects would also be somewhat irritated. However, since Fong Ping had put it this way, he had no way of rejecting him. Sheng Nan was reading while the cat was sleeping. Fong Ping and the others were looking around and listening to him reading. Warlord moved closer to Fong Ping and said telepathically, Kid, this place isn't that simple. A few unusual things have happened while I was here before. Tell me about it. I don't think there are no living people in this place. Not only are there living people, but there might even be a conscious existence. I mean, the kind of true wisdom. Heavenly Emperor Zhan? It's not him. The War King's face was solemn. He turned his head to look at the azure cat, who was sleeping soundly. The War King transmitted his voice over. Once, someone dug a small hole in the roof and looked inside. He didn't say a word. It was only when he was about to leave that he said something. What did he say? Warlord imitated the voice and said telepathically, "No." It was a little fatty. Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. He turned his head and looked at the sleeping cat. He frowned and said in a low voice, "Really?" "That's right." Warlord was also solemn. He nodded and said, "I've lived for a long time after all. I wouldn't hallucinate a single sentence." I was also stunned at that time. I thought the cat was joking with me. Warlord took a deep breath and continued, "I thought that bastard old devilly deliberately tricked me. And then the cat came here. Now that you guys have just arrived, something is wrong. Has the cat left you these days?" "No." Fong Ping shook his head. "The cat has been following me these days. It hasn't come here either. It's so lazy. How could you let it come here by itself?" Fong Ping frowned. According to Warlord, the voice sounded like the cat's. Yes, the cat's voice. But the cat had not left. Could it be a projection? Fong Ping hesitated. "I've also encountered the projection of the Beast Emperor. Is there a projection of the cat here too?" "That's possible," Warlord said, then said hesitantly. "But if it's a projection, under normal circumstances, it's like a program. It doesn't have a high self-awareness. But that cat punched through the roof. It looks like it's looking for something. It doesn't feel like a projection." Fong Ping frowned. He thought for a while, then stepped forward and patted the cat's head. The cat opened its eyes in a daze. It yawned and said blankly, "Can we go home now?" Fong Ping was helpless. The cat heard the sound of Sheng Nan reading again and was a little depressed. "It's still here. Big cat, wake up. We haven't reaped enough benefits." Fong Ping smiled. "Let me ask you something. Did you come here before?" "Yes, I've already said it once." The cat looked at him disdainfully. "Did he have Alzheimer's? How could his memory be worse than mine?" "I just said it before." Fong Ping thought for a while and said, "Then what did you do after you came? Tell me the details." The cat was stunned. Stunned. Dumbfounded. Tens of thousands of years had passed. "You're asking me, do you think I'm a video recorder? Who remembers it?" "I remember it in general. But who remembers the details?" The cat looked at him pitifully. How could he let a cat live? Not only did he have to read, but he also had to recall things that happened tens of thousands of years ago. I wanted to go home. "Don't daydream," Fong Ping said seriously. "Think about it. If we can't pass this level, we'll be locked up here reading for the rest of our lives. Do you choose to be locked up here? Or do you choose to recall it carefully?" The cat was still in a daze. Did this have anything to do with passing the level? Even though he did not understand, the cat still raised his head and started to think. After thinking for a while, his eyelids started to fight. Continue to fight. He wanted to sleep. There was someone reading beside him. At this moment, the cat really wanted to sleep. Fong Ping was helpless. After thinking for a while, a big fish appeared in his hand. It was not too strong, just an ordinary fish from the bitter sea, but it tasted good. The cat sniffed and looked at Fong Ping with some disdain. With a whoosh, an even bigger fish appeared in his paw. Flames appeared on its paw, and it was roasted in an instant. The cat began to eat. Fong Ping. Fong Ping was helpless. This cat was not stupid when it needed to be. How annoying! The cat ignored him. After eating the fish, it was a little more energetic. After thinking for a while, it said, "A long, long time ago. I don't really remember why. I think Big Dog went to combat Heavenly Palace and did bad things. Then it was caught by that bad guy and thrown here to study. Big Dog and I asked for help, so I came here," the cat recalled slowly. At this moment, it had the attitude of an old cat. It was indeed very old. So old that not many people in the Three Realms could remember when it had appeared in the Three Realms. "I came here. I knew that the blood-red guy was very powerful, so I prepared to secretly save Big Dog. At that time, it seemed that there was someone else who was also locked up here to study. So I searched. Fong Ping listened carefully, and the cat continued to search. After searching for a long time, Fong Ping could not hold it in anymore. And then I was caught. Fong Ping was so angry that he was about to cry. I mean, how did you find it in the process of searching? Did you push the door open? That's not it. The cat looked at him like he was an idiot. If I pushed the door open, wouldn't I have been found out? Of course, I went up to the roof and dug a small hole to look for it. But I was caught before I saw Big Dog. How pitiful. Dug a small hole? Yes. Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. Was there anyone in the house? Did you see a little fatty back then? Ah. The cat was stunned for a moment. It was a little confused, but it quickly shook its head and said, I don't remember. It really could not remember this. Fong Ping glanced at Warlord and frowned slightly. He sealed the surroundings and said, Is history repeating itself? The cat has only been here once. Either this is a repeat of the past, or Big Cat's projection is here, continuing what happened back then. Warlord was also confused. He said in a low voice, If that's the case, this place might be a fragment of history, and right now, we've actually entered this fragment of history. It's possible. Fong Ping nodded and said, It might be the same for other stages. It's all a fragment, but this fragment might be slightly different. Some of the people and things might have some autonomous consciousness. Warlord shook his head. It's so complicated. How did this place form? Boundary points, battles between powerhouses, various reasons. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows. I'm more curious about how to get out. Back then, Heavenly Emperor Zhan punished some people by making them study. Does that mean that we can leave after they finish studying? Or do we need other methods? Also, the cat actually appeared here again. Can we meet that cat here? The cat looked at Fong Ping blankly. What? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Fong Ping said again. Also, since the cat is here, what about Heavenly Emperor Zhan? I met the Beast Emperor before, but it was a little stupid. I exchanged a few words, but it was all nonsense. It seemed like there was some fixed procedure. Does that mean that the other stages are also fixed procedures? Or there might be some self-consciousness? At this point, Fong Ping said in a low voice, This place, isn't it another kind of source world? Here, there are the Beast Emperor, Heavenly Emperor Zhan, and the cat. Their current world is here, and it's only this big. If one day, do you think they can come to the three realms after they get out? Will they feel that this is their world, and the outside world is actually just another world? Warlord glanced at Fong Ping and said in a low voice, Actually, people have considered these questions that you mentioned. Warlord said, I've communicated with the God Creation Envoy once before. He's very good at the Tao of cloning and talked about this problem. The clone actually has some self-consciousness and is connected to the main body. However, once the clone loses connection with the main body, some accidents might happen. For example, when the clone does something, the main body will only know when the clone returns. If it doesn't return, the clone will do something according to the established procedure of the main body. If it's destroyed, you won't know what it has experienced. What I'm trying to say is that if your clone returns after connecting with you, it doesn't matter what he does. Even if you didn't do it, you still have to bear this responsibility because it's your clone, and now you've taken it back. This is equivalent to you firing a shot and not seeing the person, but killing someone from a few hundred meters away. You only know later that you've killed someone, and you have to bear the responsibility. Fong Ping nodded. Warlord continued, However, if you fire a shot and this gun comes to life and runs away on its own, cutting off the connection with you and giving birth to self-consciousness and thoughts, you can actually think of it as another person. There's no need to think of it as yourself. Just like what you said, if a life in this place really walks out of the outside world and can still exist, still alive, and have no connection with your main body, then it's an outsider. It's just that it looks like you don't have to think of it as you. Warlord smiled faintly. For martial artists in the realm of you and me, our appearance can change at any time. This doesn't mean anything. What's important is still the self, the thoughts, and not the appearance. Fong Ping nodded again. Warlord smiled again and said, Let's talk about the old cat. Old cat, let me ask you, if there's a cat here that looks exactly like you, and you met it, what would you choose? The old cat looked at them strangely. I'm unique. I'm saying if there's such a thing like a projection or something, then take it back. The old cat scratched its head with its claws. Warlord said again. What if I can't take it back? Then let it be. But it can't provoke me, or else I'll stab it to death. The old cat said matter-of-factly. Fong Ping saw Warlord looking at him and smiled. Don't look at me like that. I'm not worried about myself. Warlord did not understand, and Fong Ping did not want to say it. It might be the projection that walked out and ended up killing the real person. However, Fong Ping thought about it and did not care too much. He would just treat it as 2 lives, and it was not a big deal. At this moment, Fong Ping stopped thinking about it. He looked up at the ceiling and murmured, if the old cat could poke a hole, what about now? Can it poke a hole too? As soon as he said that, Warlord was a little surprised. He asked in a low voice, is that possible? All the buildings in this place were extremely powerful and sturdy. Actually, it was not necessarily sturdy, but it was caused by a special kind of energy. The energy of multiple universes overlapped, causing these buildings to look like they were in front of you, but you might not be attacking the building in front of you at all. The boundary points were very mysterious. Even the emperors could not study them thoroughly. Fong Ping thought about it and looked at the old cat. Big cat, give it a try. Maybe it's possible. Previously in the Shiraba, I thought it might not be that easy to break through the levels. What's outside the Shiraba? Fong Ping's eyes flickered. Do these levels exist independently, or do they exist as a whole? We went from here to there, and from there to the other side. Maybe it's different from the independent existence of each level that we imagined. These levels might exist in the same world. Even if we break through this level, I suspect that we can only teleport inside the house and disappear in this level. We might not be able to get out. The old cat was confused. What do you mean? Fong Ping laughed. It means that the 13 levels might all exist on a map. If we can get out, we might be able to overlook this map. Right now, we can only break through the levels in a corner of the map, but we don't know the true face of Lushan. The old cat seemed to understand a little. It mumbled, you might get lost if you walk on the ground. If you fly and see the whole map, you won't get lost, right? Fong Ping. Fong Ping wanted to hit the cat now. How could it say that? Who would get lost while walking? Stop talking nonsense. Give it a try. If it's possible, maybe we can take the initiative. Maybe we can even discover the real secret of this secret place. Fong Ping laughed. He picked up the old cat and flew up. He wanted to give it a try. Warlord said that the old cat that appeared previously had drilled a hole. That meant that this place could still be destroyed. If that was the case, then the real old cat might be able to do it too. At the same time, in a basilica, Heavenly King Jin chuckled. Qiong, aren't you going to invite me in? Silence. Heavenly King Jun did not care. He looked around and laughed. You trapped me here. This is only a corner of your divine palace, not the whole. I have a vague feeling that there are other people in this divine palace, but they are not in the same place as me. If that's the case, the divine palace is not only this hall. This place might have the entire divine palace, and then there might be the existence of you, the divine emperor. Heavenly King Jin slapped a pillar with his palm. The pillar trembled slightly. Heavenly King Jin laughed. Say, if I break this basilica, can I walk out and see what this place looks like? Will you, the divine emperor, appear here? Do you only exist in fragments, or have you already developed some self-consciousness here? Heavenly King Jin murmured. This place has formed such a strange situation. Is it man-made or natural? If it's man-made, then what is it for? Under normal circumstances, there are human factors involved in the so-called secret lands, and they all have their own objectives. What is the purpose of the existence of this place? Heavenly King Jun continued to ponder. He wandered around the basilica for a while and said strangely, if it's just you, then it might be a coincidence. If there are other people besides the divine palace here, what are you waiting for? Or are you looking for something? The reason for the formation of this place back then, was it really an accident, or did you people deliberately create it? Heavenly King Jin sighed. You guys have to make it so complicated. I don't know what you want. If you want to break the limits of the sovereign path and surpass the sovereign realm, then talk. There will always be a way. You have so many plans. What is it for? Heavenly King Jun had a headache. I feel that the battle back then was deliberately caused by you. Even the fact that we went berserk during the battle was all self-directed and acted by you. The 13 of you are not good people. Then, what role did my master play in this? What role did the one who created the origin play? Heavenly King Jin smiled. I'm very curious. Why did Master want me to protect the human race? Although the human race is the origin of the three realms, Chu Wu had already separated from the human race and left the human world. He established his own lineage, and the Chu Wu continent was established. At that time, the Chu Wu continent was actually more dangerous. Why didn't Master let me return to the Chu Wu continent and protect the Chu Wu lineage? The existence of the inspector means that you have been monitoring everything in the three realms and correcting everything. Everything is developing in the direction you want. But the direction you want, what direction is it? I don't believe that 10,000 years ago, you could foresee today's scene. No matter how strong you are, I don't think you could foresee the future, even 10,000 years later. Heavenly King Jin laughed at himself. What do you want? What is there in the three realms that is worth your scheming? Is this place an accident, or is it part of your plan? Heavenly King Jun shook his head and sighed. Scheming too much might not be a good thing. Perhaps you think that everything is under control, that the true Emperor Realm's door has long been closed by you. Breaking the three gates and the Void Gate might be your plan. Back then, the 13 of you participated in the construction of the three gates. That means that perhaps the 13 of you have already made preparations and reached an agreement. Or a few of you are not too clear? So, they were killed? Heavenly King Jin laughed. Do the three of you really know? Does the earthly sovereign know? Maybe he didn't know either. That's why that battle broke out. Was he suppressed and silenced by you? After saying that, Heavenly King Jin punched again, causing the pillars in the hall to tremble again. You don't seem to be prepared to let me out. You are conscious beings, so you want to trap me? Are you afraid that I will discover something and ruin your plan? Heavenly King Jin laughed and said indifferently, Then I won't go out. This place may not be sensed by the Emperor. This old man wants to try and see if I can succeed in breaking the three gates. After I succeed, will the Emperors of the three realms know? All right, this old man has always wanted to find a place that the 9 Emperors can't sense. But I can't find such an existence. Today, this old man is not here to search for treasures, but to break the gate. I want to see if the Emperor will sense this gate, or simply can't break the gate. Heavenly King Jin laughed and muttered, Is this place really covered by the three gates? Not necessarily. It's possible that it's the Real Gate, but can the Void Gate cover this place? Perhaps to us 8 breakers, the key to this place isn't the secret, but the ability to break the gate, or even sneak in. At this moment, Heavenly King Jun's eyes lit up, and he sneered. This old man might be able to sneak in front of the Real Gate. I don't have to go through your fake path, right? Interesting, this place is very good. If I fail, it means that you have also schemed here. If I succeed, it means that you have not schemed here. Then, this old man's chance has come. Heavenly King Jin laughed proudly. To him, it didn't matter even if he didn't gain anything from this place. The key wasn't the treasure, nor was it the secret, but breaking the gate. He didn't know if the other 8 breakers had considered this problem. Heavenly King Jin couldn't be bothered with them. At least he thought of it, and that was enough. If the fake Great Tao could even cover this place, it meant that this place couldn't escape the control of the Emperors. It was fine not to uncover the so-called secret, because what you saw was actually what the Emperors wanted you to see. This old man is so smart. Heavenly King Jin sighed. Being too smart was troublesome. He didn't know if the Emperors would cry. If the inspector didn't come, he might not have come to this place. Chapter 1295. Bang! There was a burst of fire on the cat's paws. It tilted its head and looked at Fong Ping. I can't. Try again. Fong Ping comforted it. Try more. I'll look for other ways. All right then. The cat had no choice but to levitate in the air and drill holes. It felt that it was too tiring and turned to look at King Pingshan. You over there, come and cushion me. King Pingshan had just been released from the state of hanging on the wall. When he heard that, his face turned ashen. This cat was very heavy. He was afraid that he could not hold it if he levitated in the air and became its cushion. However, it was no longer up to him. King Pingshan had a smile on his face. Even though he was cursing in his heart, he did not dare to show it. He hurriedly flew over and became the cushion for the cat. The cat did not stand on ceremony and sat down. There was a rumble. King Pingshan's head hurt. The cat was still annoyed. Your head is too hard. Make your back fatter. It'll be more comfortable to sit on. King Pingshan was helpless. He could only bend his back at a 90-degree angle and let the cat sit on it. After a while, he felt that it was too tiring. He could not care less and simply levitated in the air, letting the cat sit on it. Below, the faces of the others were stiff. Fortunately, it was not them. If it were them, they would not be able to accept it. However, these people were not idle. At this moment, Fong Ping looked at them and said coldly, I'm looking for a way to clear this level, not for you to watch. Hurry up. It was not necessary to be strong to clear this level. Otherwise, Heavenly King, you would not have lured others in. If one was lucky, it was normal for a true god to clear this level. Fong Ping did not know what Heavenly King Zhan was thinking. How to clear this level? Maybe a genius could do it? When it came to being knowledgeable, Fong Ping could not be considered one of them. Huai Yu and the others did not say anything. At this moment, as Sheng Nan read through a few books, the rest of the group also stared at her. They were all experts, so after Sheng Nan read through the books, they could refer to some of the words and recognize them. At this moment, they were all holding books and reading. Since there were so many books prepared here, the mystery of clearing this level was likely to be in the books. Moreover, there might be some good things in these books. They were all ancient texts, and it was not impossible that they did not contain the cultivation secrets of ancient experts. Fong Ping continued to look for other ways. He did not really like this kind of step-by-step method of clearing the challenge. Fong Ping was not a person who liked to abide by rules. Huai Yu suddenly glanced at Fong Ping out of the corner of his eye. Huai Yu quickly retracted his gaze when he saw Fong Ping knocking everywhere, the warlord looking around in boredom, and the old cat crawling through the roof. Huai Yu stared at the ancient book in his hand for a while, his expression calm and collected. Very quickly, he switched to another book. He casually browsed through the books, book after book, again and again. Gradually, Ji Yao frowned and looked at Huai Yu. At this moment, Huai Yu's aura hadn't changed much, but there seemed to be some changes. Ji Yao looked at him and frowned. Huai Yu smiled and said softly, What's wrong? What did you find? No. Ji Yao coldly replied, still looking at him with a frown. This guy seemed to be a little different from before, but she couldn't feel what was different. Had he sensed wrongly? Huai Yu smiled and didn't say anything. He continued to read the book. 1 book, 2 books, 3 books. At this moment, Sheng Nan was already a little numb from reading more than 100 books. They seemed to be ordinary martial arts knowledge from the ancient times. He had actually read most of these books before. Sheng Nan didn't understand either. What was the point of reading these books? He could only hope that after reading these books, he would gain something. Perhaps Heavenly Emperor Zhan was testing whether he was serious in his studies? Beside him, Huai Yu didn't say anything. He lowered his head and read, but a dazzling string of garbled characters appeared in his eyes. No one noticed this scene. Huai Yu's aura was still fluctuating. It was very weak, almost indiscernible. Ji Yao had been paying attention to him. Seeing this, her gaze flickered. In the next moment, Fong Ping was still looking for a way when Ji Yao suddenly said, Fong Ping. Fong Ping turned to look at her, frowning. He shouted, Found a way to clear this stage? Ji Yao said mildly, I found it. However, I need you to provide me with something before I will tell you how to clear this stage. You're blackmailing me? Equivalent exchange. Ji Yao said coldly, You've already reached the Heavenly King realm. To you, some things aren't important. Isn't it worth exchanging something that you don't think is important to you? Fong Ping laughed and said, All right, tell me, but be careful. Asking too much will not end well. I like people who know how to adapt to circumstances. Origin energy, imperishable substances, in large quantities a lot. Ji Yao said solemnly. At least enough for me to reach the Emperor realm. Also, according to what I know, you've obtained the Origin realm. Heavenly King Hong Yu once said that although the Origin realm is a false path, if you can enter it and take a look, you might be able to see the true path. You also need to let me take a look at the Origin realm. Fong Ping thought for a moment, then smiled. Your request isn't too much, but the premise is that your method works. Otherwise, you'll have to think about the consequences yourself. Ji Yao glanced at Hua Yu, who frowned slightly. In the next moment, Ji Yao said mildly, the method is with Hua Yu. Hua Yu found a way out and hid his gains. Ji Yao. Hua Yu's expression changed slightly as he growled, venomous slander. Ji Yao said coldly, whether it's true or not, you know it yourself. Fong Ping, he found a way to pass this stage. This queen will not be wrong. I've already told you, whether you can find it will depend on your ability. Hua Yu's expression changed again. Fong Ping walked over slowly. Glancing at Hua Yu, Fong Ping smiled. Hua Yu, I've always felt that you're the most tactful martial artist. If you have something to say, say it. Do you think that even if you pass this stage and reach the Emperor realm or Saint realm, what can you do? Can you really avoid me? Fong Ping smiled. This isn't the only stage here. If it was, you could leave. But there are so many stages, and you still have to continue living in the 3 realms in the future. Hua Yu's expression changed as he glanced at Ji Yao angrily. At this moment, Sheng Nan and the others also looked at Hua Yu. Did this guy really discover something? Hua Yu took a deep breath and said in a low voice, please forgive me, Human King. It's not that Hua Yu is tactful. It's just that Hua Yu hasn't found a complete method to pass this stage. I only have some gains. I was originally planning to tell Human King after I fully discovered them. Ji Yao is just a petty person, using this opportunity to gain some benefits. Ji Yao snorted, not minding. Fong Ping smiled. It's fine. Since that's the case, tell me, what did you discover? Hua Yu took a deep breath and cursed inwardly. That bastard Ji Yao, women are truly vicious. I was still too careless. Although he cursed, Hua Yu still quickly said, I didn't pay much attention to these books here before. However, Human King, please take a look. Hua Yu handed over a book. Fong Ping picked it up and glanced at it. At this time, he also recognized these words. After a careful look, he didn't find anything out of the ordinary. It was just a simple basic cultivation technique that explained the use of vitality. Fong Ping raised an eyebrow. What's wrong? War King and the others also came over. Shengnan also picked up the book and glanced at it. Similarly, she didn't find anything out of the ordinary. At this time, Hua Yu didn't keep them in suspense. He didn't dare either. He said softly, Sirs, look carefully. The study boy outside is reminding us to read properly. Books are meant to be read. Everyone raised an eyebrow and looked carefully. Fong Ping didn't think it was nonsense. He started reading seriously. As he read, Fong Ping raised an eyebrow. Then he released his mentality and began to study the book. Sirs, observe every word. Hua Yu reminded. Fong Ping carefully read again. At this time, Fong Ping's eyes moved slightly. He was a little shocked. He said in a low voice, How generous. War King was still confused. He said with a blank expression, I didn't find anything. Sheng Nan also frowned. He didn't find anything out of the ordinary either. Ji Yao, on the other hand, seemed to have noticed something. She quickly picked up the book in her hand and began reading. The Medicine God Island's true god was also at a loss. Fong Ping smiled. War Emperor, interesting. Look at the words. Look carefully. Magnify them 1,000 times and look again. When he said this, War King was stunned. Then he quickly picked up a book and began reading. As he read, War King's eyes were also filled with garbled characters. Then, War King's expression changed slightly. How generous. This is a little similar to Little Zhang. War Emperor is also generous. He just casually carved these things in the book. Sheng Nan was also shocked. Back then, many people studied in the Hall of Battle. In the end, they complained more than they were grateful. No one felt that War Emperor gave them any benefits. They all said that War Emperor had nothing better to do. However, a few people walked out of the hall of battle. They gained a lot. No one thought much of it. They also didn't think that it was War Emperor's work. Now that I think about it, I missed so many opportunities back then. They were talking enthusiastically. On the other side, the cat could not help but turn around. It waved a book with its paw and asked curiously, "What did that guy give?" Big Dog didn't learn anything. Although the cat did not want to read, it was curious. Its mentality was strong. After hearing Fong Ping's words, it magnified the words countless times and began reading. With one look, the ash cat shook its head frantically and said in confusion, "Wow, there are so many things. Is this vitality combination?" Fong Ping looked at the book in his hand and smiled. Yes, Heaven Battling the Arch was very generous. A single word, a combination of blood chi. One book, 100,000 words, 100,000 types. 100 books, millions of combinations. Generous, and it's not a random combination. It's all an optimal combination. Fong Ping was also shocked. This person is very ambitious. I'm afraid that he has only researched so many optimal combinations in his life. He actually put them all in the book collection. Maybe it took him thousands or even tens of thousands of years. He actually put them in the school, just like that. At this moment, War Emperor gave him a lot of feelings. This was very similar to when old Zhang passed on the combat technique combination that he had researched for his whole life to Fong Ping. However, even old Zhang would not teach it to just anyone. Moreover, old Zhang's so-called 800,000 combinations were actually wrong. They were all just to make up the numbers. However, War Emperor's was different. Fong Ping said in a low voice, "To be able to copy this combination into words, it means that this combination is a stable combination. In this way, it can almost shorten the martial artist's time to research combat techniques by 100 or even 1,000 times. If martial artists wanted to find the most suitable combat technique for themselves, they might need to spend thousands or even tens of thousands of years to have a chance to truly find a suitable method for themselves. However, War Emperor had shortened this time by 100 or 1,000 times. He had reduced the scope. War Emperor had researched for his whole life and left behind all the things that he had researched. Unfortunately, not many people cared about it. Not many people valued it. He did not publicize it. He only left it in his school. He did not stop some people from coming to the school to learn. However, who in the three realms would come to his school to learn, unless they had no choice and were captured by him? War Emperor was also more casual. Perhaps it was also fate. The things were here. If you could learn it, it was your ability. If you could not learn it, he would not say much. Many people walked out of his hall of battle. Some of them really learned something, but they didn't tell anyone. This was an extreme Tao Heavenly Emperor's lifelong effort. The opportunity was there. Those who really learned it had a grateful heart. At most, they would tell some family and friends, but they would not publicize it. This was respect for the extreme Tao Heavenly Emperor. Only those who studied hard would be able to discover this. There was nothing special about the words. There were no energy fluctuations. This was because War Emperor had achieved 100% control of his strength. Fong Ping had no doubt that even if the real school was here back then, these words, if one did not look carefully, would not notice anything unusual. If it was not because everyone knew that the secret might be here to break through this time, perhaps not many people would read the book carefully. Fong Ping's eyes wandered, looking at the book. Looking at one of the words, he quickly changed his vitality arrangement. This arrangement, Fong Ping discovered something different. Even if this arrangement was not suitable for him, Fong Ping felt that although it was not suitable, after he reorganized it, there was still some increase. At least 5% and above. What did this mean? It meant that every combination here, if the system was to deduce it, would start at 1,000,000 wealth points. And 10 million types meant that it would need 10 trillion wealth points. And how much wealth did Fong Ping have? More than 200 billion. Even if he spent all of it to deduce, he could only deduce about 200,000 types. Not only that, the next moment, Fong Ping's expression changed. He quickly picked up a book and stared at one of the words, saying in a low voice, "It's not just the vitality arrangement. There's actually something else." This is the arrangement and combination of mentality. As soon as he said that, Shengnan could not help but exclaim in shock, spiritual consciousness arrangement. This, unless it's Celestial Emperor Annihilation, there are not many powerhouses in the three realms who can deduce spiritual consciousness arrangement. At this moment, Warlord also said faintly, not only that, this is the arrangement and combination of my flesh cells. Previously, I thought that it was impossible for Celestial Emperor Annihilation to achieve 100% control of strength, but now, I'm afraid it's true. He might have really achieved it, even allowing these forces to intertwine and arrange themselves. We found a treasure. Yes, a treasure. A real treasure. This was much more precious than any external strength, weapons, or treasures. Fong Ping said softly, "This is a treasure. If there's an arrangement of those multiple forces, maybe it's a kind of use of force. It can even allow people to achieve a state of balance." At this moment, even Fong Ping could not help but say that he had found a treasure. Celestial Emperor Annihilation, learned from the three sovereigns, inherited martial arts, and gathered the strengths of hundreds of schools. He actually did not keep it to himself, but left his inheritance right outside the school. What quiet, afraid that people would disturb him. He was probably afraid that people would not dare to go to Combat Heavenly Palace. So he purposely set up the school outside Combat Heavenly Palace, only letting a boy servant guard it. If one really wanted to learn, anyone could go there, and there was no need to go to Combat Heavenly Palace to prevent people from being afraid. It was already extremely difficult for a dignified, venerable emperor to do this. As for making it all public, Fong Ping felt that it would be a waste of his efforts if he thought about it from another perspective. Celestial Emperor is indeed a hero of his generation. Shengnan was also full of emotions. At this moment, the aura on his body was also changing. He said bitterly, "If I went to Combat Hall tens of thousands of years ago, maybe I wouldn't be a saint today." When one's control of strength and combat techniques improved, many things would change accordingly. Martial artists could also find the most suitable path for themselves, and the road ahead would be much less bumpy. Unfortunately, it was too late to regret some things. In the past, Combat Hall was like hell to many people. Thinking about it now, they regretted it. The few of them did not delay. At their level, it was very easy to quickly switch to various combinations. These were all ready-made things. They just needed to try the combinations provided by Combat Heavenly Emperor. They did not need to arrange the combinations themselves, and they could save a lot of time. At this moment, while you said again, find the kind of words that are pleasing to the eye and comfortable to look at. This method of finding might be more suitable for us. Since he had already told everyone, he did not hide it anymore. He said quickly, "My previous combat techniques could not increase my strength by 3%. Now that I have learned the most suitable one for me, I can already increase it by 6%. Not only that, because I have just ascended to True God, my strength control is less than 80%. After the combat techniques are suitable, my strength control will be at least 5% higher. Also, after the energy is sorted out, I feel that the Tao is not as awkward as before. Next, the opening of the Tao should be easier." This was the benefit of the power combination. It did not just look at the improvement of the combat techniques, but a comprehensive improvement. Fong Ping nodded too. He smiled and said, "I understand now. This round might be a test for our combat techniques. No, it should be a test for our ultimate strength control. There might be a standard. Once we reach it, we can leave." Fong Ping's strength control was not low. There was probably no one present who was better than him. 91% control. However, even with such a strong control, he could not go out. That meant that the control needed here might be even higher. As for the gray cat, this fellow's control should not be low. However, the gray cat's mentality was very strong. This silly cat's mentality control might not be high. In the end, it might not be as strong as Fong Ping. There seemed to be a reason why it could not go out. I don't know if I can bring this book with me. I'll bring it back. Fong Ping thought to himself, I want to pack it up and bring it back. This was good stuff. Combat Heavenly Palace was so poor. He used to think that Combat Heavenly Emperor was a pauper. Now that he thought about it, Combat Heavenly Emperor did not need any external objects. He had these books, and they were the real treasures. There are some books in Combat Heavenly Palace. I wonder if they are combinations of combat techniques. They might be the original copies of these books. Fong Ping did not look at them. They were still in Combat Heavenly Palace. Now that he thought about it, he might have missed the treasure. Fong Ping was very fast. He tried one method after another. No! In the next moment, everyone was stunned. At this moment, Fong Ping became impatient. A large amount of imperishable matter and origin chi leaked out. In the blink of an eye, more than 100 Fong Pings appeared. Not enough. As long as the clones were not destroyed, their mentality would not disappear. Fong Ping was not worried. After thinking about it, he simply cut off some mentality and created more clones. 100, 1,000, they were not too big. It was fine as long as the structure was the same. He made about 1,000 clones, densely standing in the pavilion. Everyone was dumbfounded. How ruthless. They could not do it. Not to mention that they did not have so much energy to maintain it. Even if they did, they would not dare to waste it like this. Test 1,000 types at once. It only takes about 10 seconds. I can test 6,000 types in a minute. Fong Ping chuckled. 360,000 combinations in an hour. In 2 days at most, I can try all of them. If I find the most suitable one for me in advance, I'll be rich. 10 million types, 100 trillion wealth points. He relied on the system to deduce. Not to mention how much time it would take. The key was where could he get 100 trillion wealth points? Stop joking. A holy weapon could only provide about 10 billion points. 10,000 holy weapons. Even if the 3 realms were emptied, there would not be so many holy weapons. A celestial emperor's lifelong effort was much more useful than the system's functions. Fong Ping was intoxicated and ecstatic. Thousands of clones kept trying with him. Previously, Fong Ping's combat techniques increased by 10% and strength control by 91%. When Fong Ping tried for more than an hour and tried the 500,000 combination, Fong Ping discovered to his delight that it had increased. A new combat technique had appeared. 11% increase. And strength control had also increased a little, reaching 92%. This might not be the most suitable for Fong Ping. Fong Ping memorized this method and continued to try. Huai Yu and the others were envious. They wanted to do this too. Unfortunately, they really could not afford that kind of consumption. Fong Ping's clones were also collapsing. The energy consumption was terrifying. Actually, it could be carried out in the source world, but it would consume origin energy. They could not afford it either. Fong Ping provided a lot of origin energy to Warlord. Warlord was also trying it out quickly. King Ping Shan, who was floating in the air, was holding a book and reading it eagerly. Even a cat. It didn't know how to read books, but it liked to look at pictures. At this moment, the cat was also muttering, "Blood red guy, you're so naughty. You told me you're looking at a picture. Maybe I've seen it before." A group of fellows who did not like to read were holding books and reading seriously like good students. If this scene was spread out, perhaps no one would believe it. At the same time, unbeknownst to Fong Ping and the others, next door in another pavilion, Heavenly Hound was roaring madly. "Let me out! I don't want to be here. I'm in this damn place again. Let me out! Grandpa Jean, let me out! Grandpa Jean, let the dog out. Cats can't read. Dogs can't either. Let the dog out." Heavenly Hound was about to break down. It wanted to cry. It should not have come in. Why did it come in? Who the F asterisk CK let it in? Why was it in this damn place as soon as it came in? It had had enough. It wanted to read again. What the hell was there to read? If it was a secret art, then this dog would read it. If it was some basic subjects, it had already broken 8. What the hell was the point of reading this stuff? The Heavenly Hound was growling. Li Zhu, who had just entered this place and had already broken through a level, seemed to notice something unusual after careful observation. At this moment, his eyes were also flickering, and he kept muttering, "Heavenly Emperor Jean really has great courage." He became an emperor after the Myriad Dao battle, the first person in the 3 realms. Among the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors, 12 of them became emperors and supreme during the Myriad Tao battle. He was not one of them. He became a supreme heavenly emperor at the end of the Myriad Tao battle. He did not rely on the great luck and opportunities during the Myriad Tao battle. He was the youngest supreme powerhouse. At this moment, Li Zhu was also filled with emotions. With a smile on his face, many clones appeared, and they quickly began to cultivate. This was Heavenly Emperor Zhang's lifelong effort. Even if an emperor discovered all of this, they would not feel that it was useless. This was the lifetime accumulation of another powerhouse of the same level. Chapter 1296. In the pavilion. The more he studied, the more Fang Ping was shocked by Heavenly Emperor Zhang's knowledge. In that era, to be able to study all kinds of vitality combinations, energy combinations, mentality combinations, and even cell combinations, and countless of them, how much effort did it take? Zhang could become an extreme path Heavenly Emperor not purely by luck. Just this dedication and tenacity towards martial arts was not something that just anyone could achieve. Thousands of combinations. Perhaps he had abandoned even more unsuitable combinations, selecting the best from the best. Perhaps he had tried hundreds of millions of combinations. Even if he tried 100 combinations a day, he would only be able to try more than 30,000 in a year. Hundreds of millions of combinations. Perhaps he would need thousands of sleepless years to try. This kind of person, it would be unreasonable not to succeed. Fang Ping kept trying, the joy on his face growing. In the end, the others could not even try anymore. One by one, Fang Ping unleashed his combat techniques, his vitality rampaging. Long vitality dragons covered the entire pavilion. If this was outside, perhaps the sky and earth would be pierced. God slaying. With a low roar, a vitality Changdao appeared in Fang Ping's hand, and he slashed at Shengnan. Take my attack with all your might. Fang Ping growled. Shengnan's expression changed drastically. A long sword appeared in his hand quickly, and he blocked with it. Bang! A loud bang. Shengnan retreated a few steps. However, Shengnan was not happy at all, happy that he took Fang Ping's attack and was unharmed. At this moment, Shengnan's eyes were full of fear. No, beginner, how is this possible? Fang Ping did not use the origin enhancement. He sensed that there was no origin chi, only the power of blood and chi. This was impossible. He was a saint. Although he was not the best saint, his maximum vitality enhancement was as high as 5 million calories, and his strength control was almost 90%, close to 4 million calories of explosive force. However, he was repelled by Fang Ping, who did not use the origin. At the side, Ji Yao, Hua Yu, and the others looked solemn. Not using the origin? Fang Ping, who did not use the origin, was fighting with a saint and even had the upper hand. How'd he do it? Cut the crap, try my new move, feed it to me. Fang Ping was very happy at this moment. He had found a combination that was extremely suitable for him, and it felt more reliable than the system's deduction. Shengnan's expression was also grave as she continued to receive the attacks. Without relying on the amplification of the origin, not only could Fang Ping exchange blows with him, a saint, but he was also gradually gaining the upper hand. His physical body was of great assistance. The origin amplification only increased one's strength, attacking power. It did not increase one's defensive power, unless one expended more energy to defend. But Fang Ping did not need it. Just like that, the two of them had not exchanged more than 100 moves. Fang Ping put away his Changdao and used his bare fists. His fists were like mountains, heavy, and Shengnan was sent flying backward. His defense was inferior, his attack was inferior, his burst of power was inferior, and even his speed was inferior. It was a complete suppression. Moreover, as the battle continued, he could still somewhat predict Fang Ping's previous moves. However, at this moment, the extent of Fang Ping's outburst was getting smaller and smaller, and the energy that leaked out was getting lesser and lesser. He actually could not predict what Fang Ping's next move would be. His control over his power had increased. Sovereign personage, Sheng Nan was astonished. The human sovereign had found a suitable battle technique for himself and was currently polishing it. The higher the control of power, the stronger the martial artist. Even if both sides had the same explosive power, the one with the higher control would be stronger. This was because the other party's control over power was stronger and his reaction speed was faster, so he would have an advantage in all aspects. At this moment, Sheng Nan had this feeling. His explosive power was not weaker than Fang Ping's, but he was being suppressed everywhere. He could not retaliate. His control was slightly lower, but Fang Ping's ability to predict was stronger than his, and he could quickly discover the direction of his attacks. After a few times, his moves were all blocked by Fang Ping. However, Fang Ping's moves were getting quieter and quieter. Bang! A silent punch smashed out, smashing into Sheng Nan's throat. Crack! A crisp sound was heard. The power did not leak out too much, almost all of it concentrated at the throat. Sheng Nan's eyes widened, and his neck exploded. Bang! His head fell. Fang Ping threw an imperishable mass at him casually, smiling faintly. A little weak. Sheng Nan's head flew up quickly, reconnecting with his broken neck. At this moment, Sheng Nan's gaze was too complicated. Sovereign personage, Sheng Nan's gaze was complicated. He could not care less about his injuries, and said in disbelief, "You can already kill a saint with your physique." He was no match for Fang Ping. After exchanging 1,000 moves, his neck was broken by Fang Ping's punch. If this continued, he would definitely die. A powerhouse who could kill a saint with his physique. Such a powerhouse, other than beginner martial artists. How many origins were there? Breaking 7 was something that almost no one could do. Unless he broke 8. If he broke 8 without using origins, there should be hope of killing a saint. But Fang Ping? Fang Ping did it. It was still unimaginable. Fang Ping smiled. Heavenly Emperor Zhan's various combination methods are indeed treasures. I might not have found the most suitable one for myself. I can stay in this place for a while longer. I want to try other combination methods. Having said that, Fang Ping looked at them, smiling faintly. You guys can try, but don't tell anyone else. Let them discover it themselves. I won't destroy this place. Maybe this is already a lost legacy, and the books here can't be taken away. Only the fated ones can get it. Everyone was speechless. At this moment, Warlord was also full of emotions. Good stuff, good place. I have to admit that the sovereign personage and the supreme venerable emperor back then were actually more dedicated to the study of martial arts than us. Fang Ping said lightly, "That's because we don't have time to do all this. I've been practicing martial arts for more than 3 years, and I've been fighting without stopping. Old Zhang has been practicing martial arts for 80 years, and he's been fighting ever since he started learning martial arts. Even so, he still created all kinds of combat techniques. Although the predecessors are worthy of respect, the human race also has heroes. Heavenly Emperor Zhan has great courage, but our human King Wu is not weaker than him." In front of old Zhang, Fang Ping was sloppy and did not show any respect. However, in front of outsiders, Fang Ping would not slander a human hero like old Zhang. King Wu was also a peerless hero whose heroic spirit and courage were not weaker than the heroes of the 3 realms for tens of thousands of years. King Wu was not weaker than anyone. Warlord laughed and did not refute. If old Zhang heard this, he would probably be very arrogant. However, Warlord felt that he would not tell old Zhang. If that was the case, no one would tell him, in case the guy was too proud. Fang Ping smiled. "Warlord, you're Warlord, and you started with fighting. Learn from Heavenly Emperor Zhan. Don't embarrass your fighting clan. Your Dao is an outsider's Dao, and it has never been compatible. This time, if you find a combat technique that suits you, maybe you can solve this problem. When that time comes, your Dao will be the Dao that truly belongs to you. The Dao is unstoppable. Is the saint still far away? Is the heavenly king still far away? This is the mystery of this Hall of War, and this is the treasure of this Hall of War." Warlord nodded and said seriously, "Don't worry. Although this old man is not as capable as Heavenly Emperor Zhan, I also know that martial arts are learned diligently. This time, I will stay here for a longer period of time. He felt a little regretful that he did not discover anything in the past year. He was still not serious enough. If he really calmed down and learned, maybe this time when Fong Ping came in, he might have found the most suitable Tao for himself. Just as he was feeling regretful, in the sky, the cat clawed and a little tiger appeared. The cat bared its teeth, as if it was laughing, thinking that it was fun. Then it threw the little tiger toward Sheng Nan. Sheng Nan did not care at first, but the moment the little tiger approached him, Sheng Nan's hair stood on end. The long hair on his head stood straight up. Dangerous, extremely dangerous. It was even more dangerous than the danger that Fong Ping gave him just now. Boom! There was a loud bang, but there was no energy wave. No, only Sheng Nan's overflowing energy. At this moment, the energy shield that Sheng Nan condensed was pierced directly. The shield shattered, and Sheng Nan's golden body exploded. The little tiger did not disperse at this moment. Instead, it jumped on him in a daze, as if it wanted to continue beating him up. "Help!" Sheng Nan screamed wildly. He was extremely horrified. Fong Ping was also surprised, grabbing the little tiger. The little tiger did not disperse, and the cat did not make a fuss. Looking at Fong Ping holding its little tiger, it said happily, "Give it to me quickly, I'll take it back." Fong Ping stared at the cat, feeling a toothache, and said in a low voice, 100% control. The cat's energy did not disperse at all. Did this mean that it had reached 100% control? Not yet. The cat said happily, "It's just vitality, mentality didn't merge in. This is not considered full control. It's fun, you can even take back vitality when you hit people." However, its careless words caused everyone to be dumbfounded once again. 100% control of vitality. This cat actually learned something casually and learned the Tao that was most suitable for it. Not only that, it blew up Sheng Nan in one hit. Sheng Nan really wanted to cry. How is this possible? How could he be abused by this lazy cat like this? This should not be. Sheng Nan was in despair, extremely pessimistic. There was no way he could survive in the three realms. No wonder the prince was in despair and wanted to be a homebody heavenly king. He also wanted to stay at home and not go out. The three realms was too dangerous. Sheng Nan wanted to cry. "Prince, where are you? I want to go out, let's go home together. I won't let you out anymore. I won't persuade you anymore. The weak cat in the past can already abuse me now. What's the point of living?" Sheng Nan was really sad. He silently healed his injuries, his expression mournful. A saint was abused by two people with their bodies, and he was blown up by vitality alone. Even a beginner saint could not do this, right? Was there any justice in this world? The cat could not be bothered with him. It was just playing around. At this moment, a big tiger condensed in its hand. The big tiger roared. Soon it turned into a big dog. That was Tengu. Then it turned into Fong Ping. Fong Ping opened his mouth wide and bit King Pingshan's butt. King Pingshan let out a scream. Fong Ping's face darkened. He growled, "Go away! This stupid cat, what are you doing?" The cat said happily, "This is fun." Liar, it's a pity I didn't come here to play before. I should have come earlier. It's so fun. The blood-red fellows are so interesting. They have condensed into small animals. I even saw some that looked like fish. Fong Ping was speechless. That's your own imagination. There were all kinds of combinations. Some were indeed like long dragons with various shapes, but if you thought they looked like fish, then maybe they looked like fish. Fong Ping did not care about the cat anymore. This cat liked to play, so he would continue to play. The cat's strength control was high to begin with. Its basic vitality was probably about 4 million calories now. Its vitality was 100% outburst, so it was not surprising that it blew up Sheng Nan in one hit. Sheng Nan's strength purity was not as good as the cat's. The cat's attack penetrated his shield and blew up his golden body. That was because Sheng Nan was too weak. Fong Ping continued to try. He was not in a hurry now. He was not as eager for quick success as before. This time, he might be able to reap great rewards here. The improvement of his strength control also increased Fong Ping's jade bone honing. The fusion of various energies even helped the fusion of force. This was an improvement in many aspects. In the blink of an eye, a day had passed. For a day and a night, everyone was silent. They were all cultivating quietly. At this moment, Fong Ping's body trembled slightly. This time, he felt that he had really found the most suitable combination for himself. For the first time, he felt that when the strength combination was different and suitable for him, the strength could actually hone his body. It was warm and comfortable. There was no swelling pain that came with powerful strength. Maybe I really found it. Heavenly Emperor Zhan. Fong Ping muttered to himself. Did Heavenly Emperor Zhan still want to take over and be reborn? He was not sure. Would such a person really reincarnate and then take over the reincarnated body? Was he not confident in his own Tao? Would he feel that his Tao was wrong? Maybe he's really dead. Such a thought arose in Fong Ping's mind. He did not know if he was really dead, but the current him was still a little less vigilant against Heavenly Emperor Zhan. With these combo combat techniques, Heavenly Emperor Zhan had left a deep impression on him. Such a person would only be willing to live as himself, right? Even if he was wrong. Old Wang, oh, Old Wang, you're hiding something in your heart. Just treat it as if you have a master. Maybe it'll be better. The corner of Fong Ping's mouth curled up slightly. Old Wang, that fellow, still had some things hidden in his heart. He hoped that he could overcome it on his own. This was not something that Fong Ping could enlighten him about. At this moment, Fong Ping looked at his own data again. This time, after entering the secret place, he felt that he had gained a lot after entering just 2 stages. Coming to this place was worth it. Wealth, 255 billion points vitality, 3,550,000 calories, 3,530,000 calories, mentality, 31,500 hertz, 31,500 hertz, jade bones, 25% origin world, 915 meters combat techniques, god-slaying saber techniques, plus 15%, origin Tao, plus 190% pseudo Tao, return to 1 spirituality Tao, 100 calories vitality to 1 hertz mentality physique Tao, 1 hertz mentality to 100 calories vitality, irreversible, strength control, 96% limit outburst, 10,394,400 calories per 10,827,500 calories, 96% strength control. This was because of the existence of the origin. If the origin was not there, Fong Ping felt that even if he could not achieve 100%, he could still achieve 99% control. As for Heavenly Emperor Zhan, it was really scary. He had the origin. Under the circumstances where he had the origin, he achieved 100% control. What did this mean? It meant that he could even incorporate external strength into his body completely, achieving perfect control. Even if one day his origin disappeared, Heavenly Emperor Zhan might be able to quickly forge a stronger physique, stronger mentality, stronger vitality, and without any hindrance, he could directly and smoothly control it. This was scary. Under normal circumstances, even if one leveled up, the strength control would inevitably decline in the beginning. However, Heavenly Emperor Zhan probably would not, because he had once perfectly controlled strength that surpassed his own. Fong Ping had seen this from the rank 6 Old Manly before. However, perfect control of 10,000 cal and perfect control of tens of millions of cal, the difficulty was still very different. Old Man Li was also a monster. Even until today, his rank 6 sword was still fresh in Fong Ping's memory. If Old Man Li had enough time, perhaps he could also achieve Heavenly Emperor Zhan's level. The origin has been weakened by 5% again, but the combat techniques enhancement has increased by 5%, and the honing of jade bones has also reached 25%. After the origin was weakened, Fong Ping's outburst was as high as 10 million calories and above. After these 2 rounds, Fong Ping's outburst did not increase much, and his upper limit did not increase much either. However, it was really different. Previously, he relied on the combat techniques enhancement without the origin and defeated Shungnan. From this, it could be seen that even without the origin, he was still slightly stronger than the average saint. 96%. Can I pass the round now? Fong Ping looked at the cat. With a glance, Fong Ping was stunned for a moment. Right now, the cat was using its claws to dig something out. Yes, digging something out. Its claws had actually stretched out. It had extended beyond the roof. This cat was having so much fun that it seemed to have forgotten its proper business. Fong Ping was stunned. He quickly leaped into the air and growled, "Big cat, what are you doing?" The cat was startled and hurriedly retracted its claws. With a dazed expression, it scratched its head and said, "Nothing. Don't lie to me. What's in your hand?" The cat shook its head. "No, I don't have hands." Fong Ping was exhausted. "What's on its claws?" The cat muttered and extended its claws. Fong Ping was stunned. At this moment, there was something on the cat's claws. A small fish. It was alive. The cat muttered, "I already said it's nothing. It's just a small fish." Fong Ping was shocked. "Who gave it to you? How can there be fish in this place?" "No, this isn't a fish." Fong Ping hurriedly picked up the small fish. As soon as he did, he felt something different. This small fish seemed to be alive. However, it was not alive. It was made up of a thick wave of life force. Fong Ping frowned. He looked at the roof and reached out to grab it. However, he could not open it. Fong Ping frowned. "Big cat, who gave it to you? How did you extend your claws?" "Just like this." The cat extended its claws again. Very quickly, a small hole appeared on the roof. In the next moment, a pair of curious eyes appeared in front of Fong Ping. Meow. There seemed to be a cat on the roof too. At this moment, a cat's meow sounded slightly confused. Then, the eyes left. Very quickly, a cat's paw with a plum blossom print reached in. The cat also extended its claws and shook hands. Fong Ping was stunned. Outside, was it a cat? The cat shook hands with the cat outside, then looked at Fong Ping and said happily, "This is a cat too. But it doesn't seem to be me. Something's not right with it." Fong Ping was confused. Very quickly, Fong Ping reached out to touch the cat's paw. The cat did not avoid it. With his touch, Fong Ping paused slightly. He felt a thick wave of life force surging into his body. "It isn't you," Fong Ping murmured. The cat nodded. "Yes, it's not me, but it looks like me. Yes, I think it's delicious." Liar? Can cats eat cats? Fong Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry. It was still thinking about eating at a time like this. At this moment, Fong Ping seemed to understand a little. He said in a low voice, "The outside world is a world of life. A fish full of life force. A cat full of life force." It seemed to be composed entirely of life force. If that was the case, the outside world might be a place full of infinite life force. As for this cat's appearance as a cat, it might be a remnant of history and not a projection clone like he thought before. "What is out there?" Fong Ping murmured and looked at the cat. "Can I go out?" "I don't think so." The cat shook its head. "I can only drill a small hole. I can't go out, but I can feel it. I can go out through the door, but if I go out through the door, I might enter the next level. I can only appear outside and see this cat if I go out through the roof." Fong Ping nodded. He felt it too. He could leave through the door and enter the next level, but he could not go out through the roof. Because the roof might be the outside world. Outside the 13th level was probably the outside world. A world of life. At this moment, Fong Ping still did not know what Sky Arm had said to Ironhead. Otherwise, Fong Ping might have already guessed some things. This secret place had something to do with the seed. The cat could not go out, and the cat seemed to have no way of coming in either. It could only drill a small hole and let the two cats communicate with each other. As for Fong Ping, at this moment, he once again started his great undertaking of deceiving the cat. "Cat, tell this live cat to exchange for food. Use cat food to exchange for live fish. 1 pack for 10. Hurry up." The cat was stunned. "You're so black-hearted." It could feel that life force too. It was so rich. Perhaps even a small fish had the strength of an emperor-level powerhouse's life force. The swindler wanted to use a pack of cat food to exchange for 10 fish. Black-hearted ghost. Despite feeling that the swindler was black-hearted, the cat still meowed to communicate with the live cat in the outside world. Exchange for food. Exchange cat food for live fish. Cat food was delicious, better than any fish-headed monster or heavenly kingfish. When it came to food, the cat had never been afraid of anyone. The life cat in the outside world might have intercepted some of the cat's life fragments. In this way, whatever the cat had eaten, the life cat might not have eaten. However, whatever the life cat had eaten, the cat should have eaten, except for these life fish. After a few exchanges, very soon, the cat looked at Fong Ping and said with some grievance, "It bargained, saying 3 fish for 1 pack. Liar, it bargained so well, even better than me." Thinking about it, the cat did not bargain like this when it made a deal with old John for the first time. How could this life cat bargain even better than it? Fong Ping was in a daze. "You're not willing? Is your cat stupid? 1 pack of cat food for 3 live fish is comparable to the entire life force of a saint. Why do you think you're at a disadvantage? You cat, you're even cheating yourself. The cat outside might be a fragment of your life. You're actually jealous. I can't say anything." Fong Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry. He rubbed the cat's big head hard. This silly cat was hopeless. P.S. Seeking monthly votes. It's the last day. If you don't vote, it'll be a waste. Chapter 1297. The Gray Cat and the Life Cat outside reached an agreement. Soon, the Gray Cat took out a bag of snacks and meowed. "Second cat, you can trade now." Fong Ping was helpless again. Was this the name you gave to the cat outside? Did the Gray Cat mean number 2? Outside, the cat's paw reached in again, grabbing the bag of snacks. Soon, the snacks disappeared, and 3 small fish appeared in the Gray Cat's paw. However, both parties did not continue the trade. Obviously, the cat opposite wanted to inspect the goods first. Fong Ping could vaguely hear the sound of the bag being scratched. The Gray Cat, the little profiteer, was still fooling the life cat. "It's delicious. Much better than the big fish. 3 small fish for 1 bag. You're good at shopping." The cat praised the life cat for a while, and Fong Ping wanted to laugh. Obviously, the 2 cats' hobbies were somewhat similar. Soon, the paw reached in again, and the life cat outside meowed, "I want more." Obviously, it thought it was delicious. The Gray Cat said reluctantly, "I don't have much left, so I'll give you some more." 1 bag, 2 bags. The 2 cats continued to trade, and the Gray Cat was also eating the life cat happily while trading. After eating one, it tossed one to Fong Ping and stored the remaining one for later consumption. Fong Ping did not say anything, letting the Gray Cat do as it pleased. Below, King Ping Shan had now turned over, his big belly being stepped on by the Gray Cat, his face full of shock and dullness. How could this work? Could the humans exchange this little bit of food for this? He felt it. The life energy of that small fish was much stronger than his life energy. Unbelievable. He had really learned something. So this was how trading was done. He suddenly felt that he had lived for hundreds of years in vain. Look at how others did it. No wonder Fong Ping reached the Heavenly King realm at such a young age. Based on his ability to do business, who could compare to him? The Gray Cat continued to trade with the life cat. The 2 cats were still meowing at this moment. Sometimes, they did not speak the human language, and Fong Ping did not quite understand them. Cats obviously had their own way of communicating with each other. The Gray Cat did not forget to translate for Fong Ping while communicating. Second cat said it's here to find the big dog. I haven't been able to find Big Dog. I wonder if Big Dog has been beaten to death. I asked it where the little fish came from, and it said it picked them up. I asked it if it was fun outside, and it said it wasn't. A lot of people bullied it, and it asked me to fight for it, but it said it didn't want to fight. Fong Ping gave it a sidelong glance. What's there to say? You might as well say that I'm the same as you. Fong Ping thought for a while and said, Ask it if the outside world is the heavenly realm. The cat was a little confused, but it still helped to ask. Soon, a cat's meow came from the other side. The old cat translated. It said it doesn't know what it's called, but it's big. Oh, it said it smelled the smell of a big dog. It's not trading anymore. It's going to find a big dog. Big dog? Fong Ping was surprised. Tengu? There are heavenly dogs in this place? Was it a dog of life like this cat? Before Fong Ping could say anything, the small hole above them suddenly began to close up. The old cat hurriedly took some small fish and muttered, "It's gone." It said it's going to find the big dog. The cat of life left. As soon as it left, the hole began to close up. The cat counted the small fish in its hand and was satisfied. It handed Fong Ping 30 small fish and more than 10 in front of him. In just a short while, Fong Ping had harvested more than 40 small fish. At first, the cat was still happy. Its harvest was twice as much as Fong Ping's. However, very soon its face suddenly went blank. Then, it said in exasperation, "Liar, Cat 2 gave me less than 3 fish." Fong Ping was tired. "Did you just realize it? I thought you gave it an extra bag of snacks." It turns out that the cat gave you less on purpose. It looks like it's not a good thing either. However, Fong Ping did not care too much. It was just snacks, not worth much. In just a short while, he had harvested so many fish of life. It was also a pleasant surprise. He kept these fish of life and stored them in the source world. This time, Fong Ping did not plan to waste them himself. He planned to bring them back and give them to human powerhouses. Life energy might not be helpful for martial artists to open up their Tao, but it was terrifyingly helpful for martial artists to forge a golden body. Nowadays, Tao was actually easier to cultivate. Tao was getting closer and closer to the human world, and it was easier to comprehend Tao. However, Tao comprehension did not mean that one could really walk forward and scrupulously. If one's golden body was not strong enough, if one walked too far, one's golden body would not be able to withstand every outburst. Take King Huai, for example. His golden body was not strong enough. Every time he unleashed his saint-level strength, he almost exploded. If human powerhouses consumed some fish of life, there might be great benefits. Moreover, this vitality gave Fong Ping a feeling that it was quite high level. Creatures with different strengths had different life forces. Take Fong Ping, for example. His vitality was strong. It was definitely not something that a desperate realm could compare to. It was higher. These small fish's vitality was also very pure. Its essence was much higher than the life essence produced by the saint-level sky would. If the life cat left, Fong Ping and the others could not get out either. At this moment, if Fong Ping wanted to leave, he could only go through the main door and enter the next level. Fong Ping could be considered to have reaped all the harvest from Heavenly Emperor's side. Other than not being able to get out, this round's harvest was not small. Glancing at the main door, then at the few others present, Fong Ping floated down from the roof. "I'm ready to enter the next level." Fong Ping's words jolted everyone out of their cultivation. Warlord glanced at him, nodded, and said, "It's time to go. There are many levels. Since you can pass them, then leave first." Fong Ping smiled. "For this level, if your strength control reaches 95%, you should be able to leave." As soon as he said that, the few of them raised their eyebrows slightly. 95% was still a little difficult. Hua Yu's control was not considered high before. It was probably 80%. Their speed of learning combat techniques was also not as fast as Fong Ping's. Even if they really found a combat technique that suited them, they might only be able to reach about 90%. They might not be able to pass the level. If that was the case, they might be trapped here for a long time. Fong Ping looked at Warlord and said with a smile, "Senior Jiang, cultivate in peace. It's also a good thing that your strength control is higher. Reach Saint level here as soon as possible." As Fong Ping said that, he directly shot a small fish into his body. Warlord's chi activity erupted instantly. His golden body was crackling. The others watched with envy. However, even the saint-level Sheng Nan dared not say a word. Fong Ping was here. What was the point of being envious? Fong Ping said again, "This place is a threat to Senior Jiang." Sheng Nan's expression changed drastically. In the next moment, he said hurriedly, "Lord Human King, give me 6 more hours. I will leave with you." Sheng Nan's face turned green. As soon as Fong Ping said that, he immediately realized that he was in danger. His strength control was not low. After all, he was a veteran saint. It was about 90%. Now, he had learned some combination methods and gained a lot. As a saint, his learning speed was not slow. If he was given a little more time, he should be able to pass the level. If he did not pass the level, he suspected that Fong Ping would make him break his head. Fong Ping ignored him and continued to say to Warlord, "There might be more people coming here. They might not enter this room. If they do, Senior, be careful and try to hold it in. Staying alive is the most important thing. As for the rest, we'll settle it after we get out." Fong Ping said that there are still 3 true gods here. If they join forces, the threat will not be small. As soon as he said that, Hua Yu hurriedly smiled and said, "Human King, with us here, if a saint comes, we can join forces. Senior Warlord might be able to handle it. If it's a heavenly king, he might not bother with us. Don't worry, Human King. He knows that we are here. He won't do anything stupid. If something happens to Senior Warlord, even if we get out alive, we'll be courting death. Hua Yu understands this." Fong Ping laughed. "You know what's good for you. Xingnan, stay here too. You're not allowed to leave. I don't ask about the process. I only care about the result. Unless I die here, if something happens to Warlord and you're fine, you go and accompany Warlord." Xingnan did not know if he was happy or worried, but he still said, "Don't worry, Master Human King. Xingnan knows what to do." Warlord also laughed. "You go. Don't worry about me. All right, Howard is here too." As he said that, he transmitted his voice to Fong Ping. He has some of unquestionable sword's memories. He might have passed many levels already. He might even have walked out and met Howard. Do as you see fit. I don't know if his current situation is good or bad. I understand, Fong Ping replied. He looked around the crowd again and transmitted his voice to Warlord. "What do you think about killing these people?" He felt that it was necessary to kill these guys, to prevent them from causing trouble and to prevent them from spreading the secret of this level. Most of the people who came here were enemies. Fong Ping felt that there was no need to be polite. He did not kill them before because he wanted to solve the mystery. Now that the secret had been solved, what was the point of keeping them alive? Warlord also transmitted, Xingnan has no enmity with humans. Although humans are not afraid of war and killing, there is no need to kill innocent people who are not enemies. Heaven's fate has not shown any hostility. If we can spare them, then forget it. As for the others, Warlord looked at them from the corner of his eyes and transmitted, Hua Yu is King Hua's grandson. King Hua has helped humans before. Medicine God Island has not massacred humans yet. As for Ji Yao, Warlord paused, then transmitted with a smile, "No hurry, don't kill. Some things are very interesting. This woman is ambitious. And I heard, between Li Zhu and Hong Yu, one of them might become the Empress. Ji Yao is the Princess of Destiny Royal Court, one of the 4 royal courts. In order to make people submit, she might enter the heavenly court and become one of them's queen." Fong Ping was surprised. Warlord saw this, and a hint of mockery appeared on his face. "Can't bear to?" Fong Ping rolled his eyes. "This old man is being polite to you, but you don't know how to appreciate it? Are you asking for a beating? I can't bear to?" Fong Ping was speechless. The people of the catacombs have a blood feud with us. Even if they did, it would not happen. I'm just thinking that even if she becomes the queen, she might not be of much use. That might not be true. Warlord transmitted with a smile. "Have you forgotten how much help she has given you when she was in a high position? She is a child of fortune. At a critical moment, her ambition might overshadow her rationality." Li Zhu and Hong Yu are too difficult to deal with. Even if you break 7, I don't think you can defeat them. At a critical moment, this woman might be useful. Warlord continued, "This woman is afraid of you, just like Hua Yu. You have suppressed them time and time again, so they fear you from the bottom of their hearts. No matter how strong they are, they will lose to you. Give her all the things you promised her before. Let her become stronger. If she becomes a venerable emperor now, when she returns to enter the palace, Li Zhu or Hong Yu might help her break through to the saint realm to show their sincerity. When that time comes, she will still be very useful. When a woman becomes ruthless, she is even more ruthless than a man. Just like Moon's spirit, when this woman becomes ruthless. Speaking of which, if Ji Yao becomes Hong Yu's queen, that will be interesting." The War King was actually scheming now. he said in a perverted tone, if she becomes the queen of Hongyu. Moon Spirit might have a closer relationship with the human race. It would be useful to have an ally who can break 7. Fong Ping raised his brows and transmitted. Can she do it? Will Hongyu do it? It's hard to say. In any case, Hongyu and Li Zhu probably have this in mind, using marriage to strengthen their rule over the catacombs. Although they are strong, Hongyu has not appeared for thousands of years, and Li Zhu has fought with Destiny Royal Court many times. Fong Ping did not know if Warlord's information was accurate. He really did not care about these gossips. When he heard this, he thought for a while and said, "All right then, be careful and enter the Saint Realm as soon as possible. I'll go and break through the levels. There are many secrets in this place. Break through all the levels as soon as possible. After I get out, my strength and the human strength will increase once again." All right. After the two talked for a while, Fong Ping glanced at the others. They were a little uneasy. Fong Ping smiled faintly and did not say anything. He brought the cat and walked toward the door. Behind him, King Pingshan looked reluctant. However, he knew that he could not get out this time. This place was not too dangerous, so he did not say that he wanted to go with them. In reality, he could not leave anyway. Of course, he had to curry favor. He helped the cat comb its fur and said reluctantly, "Take care, Sky Emperor. I will break through the levels as soon as possible. I look forward to meeting Sky Emperor in the next level." The cat swatted him away with its tail. It was not in the mood to pay attention to this guy. Fong Ping also did not bother to look at him. In order to survive, King Pingshan dared to say any mushy words. He had been wondering, how did this guy become a true god? It was extraordinarily difficult to become a true god before this. This guy became a true god at such a young age. Logically speaking, he was not an incompetent person. How did he become like this now? King Huai was still somewhat reserved. He could be ruthless sometimes. However, King Pingshan, he had never seen him being ruthless. From the first time they met until now, he had been a coward all the way. How could he become a true god like this? Fong Ping glanced at him suspiciously. King Pingshan had just been swatted away. At this moment, he was still a little dazed. However, when he saw Fong Ping's gaze, he was shocked. What a dangerous gaze! Fong Ping stared at him for a while and smiled. His smile made one's scalp tingle. Could it be the second seed? Fong Ping murmured in his heart. Could it be? He did not know. However, if King Pingshan really did not have any other strengths, there would be some problems in becoming a true god. Fong Ping felt that this guy might be one of the seeds he was looking for. However, at this moment, he dared not test it out easily. He was afraid that he would be in danger again. Mentality seed? Life seed? Or energy seed? The vitality seed was Wang Ruobing. Where were the other three? Or could it be that he was overthinking and there was only Wang Ruobing alone? Without looking at King Pingshan again, Fong Ping walked to the door. This time, he grabbed the cat's neck. He was going to leave. Today, he had only broken through 2 levels. Since he could not get out of this place, then he would continue to break through. He pushed the door. In the next moment, Fong Ping's vision went dark. In the darkness, Fong Ping opened his eyes. He felt that someone was looking at him. At this moment, Fong Ping was slightly stunned. He saw it. At this moment, he seemed to be in a teleportation passageway. Outside the passageway, he saw something. A young man with his hands behind his back, with an ordinary face and dressed simply, was looking at him. Beside the young man, there was a cat that looked exactly like the cat. However, at this moment, the young man was holding the cat's neck. If it were not for the fact that the young man looked different from Fong Ping would have suspected that it was a mirror. This was because he was also holding the cat in the young man's hand. Although the live cat was being held, it did not stop eating. At this moment, it was opening a bag of snacks and eating happily. The cat seemed to have seen Fong Ping and the others too. One of its paws was holding the snacks, and the other was waving at Fong Ping and the others as if it was greeting them. In Fong Ping's hand, the cat also opened its eyes and waved its paws at the person in greeting. Then, it suddenly shouted, "Second cat, you still owe me 3 small fish." The life cat suddenly tilted its head to one side. It did not hear it and did not admit it. Fong Ping ignored the two cats and looked at the young man. Heavenly Emperor Zhan. That young man was definitely Heavenly Emperor Zhan. Heavenly Emperor Zhan looked at Fong Ping with a deep gaze. He did not look like a program without intelligence. At this moment, he suddenly opened his mouth slightly. A calm voice came to Fong Ping's ears. You can look for me after you've broken through all the levels. You have my aura on you. The young man smiled slightly. Carrying the life cat, he turned around and left, murmuring, "Am I already dead? So what a pity." It was indescribably carefree, but there was also a hint of regret. Fong Ping did not have time to say anything. In the next moment, his vision went black again, and he appeared in another place instantly. At the same time, Heavenly Emperor carried the life cat and chuckled. You stupid cat. So much life energy in exchange for a bunch of food, but it's good too. You don't bring it with you when you're born, and you don't bring it with you when you die. Maybe eating and drinking to your heart's content is also fun. But it seems like the real you has to be smarter in the future. You even know how to use these useless food to exchange for life energy. Meow. The life cat wagged its tail. It was happy to do so. It's good to live a simpler life. That's good. That dog is not the dog you want to see. But you can go and take a look. That dog is still as stupid as ever. Heavenly Emperor carried the cat and walked along the rows of school buildings. He casually threw the cat onto the roof of a school building. Ignoring the cat, the heavenly battle arch continued to walk forward. As he walked out of the battle hall. He looked at the outside world, looked at the heavens and earth, looked at the living beings and murmured softly, "Illusions are illusions after all. It's time to destroy them. That's good too. Since I'm leaving, I'll just leave quickly. There's no need to linger." Laughter spread out. At the same time, Earth, Magic City. Laughter seemed to ring in old Wang's mind. Maybe it's time for me to leave. You are not me after all. Old Wang's expression was indifferent, as if he did not hear it. A sigh was heard. Very soon, there was silence. Old Wang was silent for a while. He said slowly, "You are you, and I am me. But since I have inherited your origin, I will avenge you and fulfill some of your wishes." No one replied. Old Wang did not say anything else either. The next moment, Old Zhang's voice came from afar. "Let's go." It was time to sweep the 3 realms. Secret place. 3rd stage. Fong Ping was still immersed in the moment just now. Heavenly Emperor had some self-awareness. He actually asked him to look for him after he passed the stage. Fong Ping was thinking about this, but he did not delay observing his surroundings. After this observation, Fong Ping was stunned. Was the Western Emperor bloodline so close to him? First it was Sheng Hong, then Sheng Nan, and now it was Celestial Pole. Was your bloodline waiting for me one stage after another? As for Celestial Pole, at this moment, he was also extremely stunned. He had just threatened his old man, saying that he would let Fong Ping kill his old man. But now, Fong Ping really came? Fong Ping. Niu Meng. Fong Ping still looked like Niu Meng, but the cat had turned into a real cat. Fong Ping did not care much. He was not too afraid of exposing his identity. It was mainly because he was too outstanding. If he wanted to pass the stage, it would be difficult not to expose his identity. Although he would be in danger if he encountered a powerhouse who had broken 8. If he really encountered a powerhouse who had broken 8, he would not be able to hide it. Therefore, although he still looked like Niu Meng, he did not care that the cat had unintentionally changed back. Seeing Celestial Pole staring at him in a daze, Fong Ping smiled and waved his hand. "Celestial Pole, long time no see. I miss you so much." Bang! A loud sound was heard. Celestial Pole took off running. But if he did not pass the stage, where else could he run to? With a rumble, Celestial Pole crashed into the wall. The rumble was incomparably loud. Seeing that he could not escape, Celestial Pole roared, "Old man, if he really comes, hold on by yourself." Fong Ping was stunned. "What did I do to you? I was just greeting you. Do you need to do this when you see me now?" Fong Ping was mentally exhausted. Celestial Pole, this lunatic, was he not very arrogant before? Was he very arrogant? How did he become like this now? While Fong Ping was dumbfounded and speechless, Celestial Pole looked around and realized that there was no way to escape. Suddenly, he calmed down and said calmly, "Human King, I did not provoke you, so don't cause trouble for me. This place is the chess room of Western Palace. I am extremely familiar with this place. This sitting old man is my father's projection. If you want to leave this place, you still need to see if I can give you some advice. I have played this game of chess for 8,000 years. I am too familiar with it. Without me, you can't leave. I will send you away. Let's talk." Celestial Pole spoke quickly and added quickly, "If you are angered by this old man, it has nothing to do with me. That is the projection's business. If you are really unhappy, you can seek revenge on the old man's real body. Humans often say that one should not bring trouble to one's family. I can make a public announcement in the 3 realms that I will cut off my father and son relationship with Western Emperor. Of course, father may be a little old. I think that the Human King can consider letting him retire in Western Palace." Fong Ping did not say anything. Celestial Pole said a bunch of things. Fong Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry. "Celestial Pole, do you have to be like this? I don't think I have hit you before. Do you have to be so afraid?" He did not think he had fought with Celestial Pole before. This guy ran away when he met him. If it were not for so many people watching him last time, he would not have participated in the battle to kill the Emperor. He would have run away long ago. It was not easy to meet him. Did Celestial Pole have to be like this? P.S. The second monthly ticket is increasing so fast. Brothers, give me more monthly tickets. There are less than 8 hours left. Hold on to the first place. Chapter 1298. Tianji talked for a while, but at this moment, in the chess room, Emperor West's projection smiled and said nothing. Fong Ping glanced at Emperor West's projection, frowning slightly. It was somewhat similar to the phantom of the Beast Emperor, but of course it wasn't exactly the same. The Beast Emperor's projection was made by Fong Ping. It did not exist before. However, the West Emperor's projection had always been here. Emperor, she was sitting with a chessboard in front of him. Fong Ping stared at the chessboard and felt a headache coming on. Ancient chess was different from modern chess. Even if it looked like Go, it was not. Fong Ping actually did not know how to play this kind of chess. Of course, he wasn't completely clueless. Heavenly King Garrison seemed to know how to do it. He seemed to have done it with Old Zhang before. Old Zhang should know how to do it. Fong Ping had seen it once, but he did not have much of an impression. Fong Ping tilted his head to look at Celestial Pole. Heaven's limit avoided him. When the distance between them was more than 5 meters, he said, "It's just a game of chess. If I win, I should be able to leave. This king has already played for a while, but has yet to win." Fong Ping raised his eyebrows. "Haven't you been studying it for 8,000 years? You think you can't beat this fake Emperor Shi?" Heaven's fate was embarrassed. "I've been here for 8,000 years. Father has been here for tens of thousands of years." Tianji felt wronged. Imperial Father didn't allow it, so there was nothing he could do. Fong Ping was not in a hurry to speak. He walked forward and suddenly stretched out his hand toward Emperor West's projection. Emperor West's projection smiled. His body swayed slightly, avoiding Fong Ping. He laughed and said, "Young friend, although I'm not a true emperor, I'm still a fragment of the emperor's life origin. Even if I'm not an emperor, this old man has lived for far longer than you, young friend." "Young friend, are you overstepping your bounds?" As soon as he said that, before Fong Ping could react, Celestial Polarity was stunned. The next moment, Heaven's Pole threw a punch and said angrily, "You can talk? Are you conscious?" Mother Faster's cur. He was furious. He had played so many games, but no matter what he said, the other party would only say, "Continue the game." He thought it was just a simple procedure, so he didn't pay much attention to it. Even if he scolded for a long time, the West Emperor didn't say anything when he eavesdropped. But now, Tianji was about to explode from anger. This projection could speak and say other things, but it actually ignored him. "This prince is your son. Is this how you treat your son? Emperor Shi's projection swayed his body slightly and avoided him. He sighed and said, "It's unfilial for a son to rebel against his father. Misfortune befalls our family." The West Emperor shook his head and sighed. His son was going to attack him. How unfilial. However, Heaven's fate was choking with anger. He said angrily, "If you have a consciousness, why didn't you talk to me before?" Sigh. In the end, this old man is just an essence, not my true body. I'm afraid that you won't be able to accept seeing my son. Heaven's fate was almost angered to death by the words of this projection. In any case, his current mood was incomparably gloomy. This old fellow was really annoying. The projection looked at Fong Ping again and smiled. "Your king Fong Ping? My son has always said that Fong Ping, the king of man, is domineering and arrogant. I was thinking that since he is the king of man, how could he be unworthy of his position?" Tianji coughed dryly and said, "You said it yourself. What does it have to do with me? No way. This old fool who cheated his son, how could he speak like that? Don't you know how savage this guy is?" Now that the two of them had met here, if Fong Ping's pettiness flared up and he killed your son, who would send you off? A projection was just a projection. There was no father-son bond at all. Heaven's fate cursed in his heart. Fong Ping looked at him with a half-smile, and Heaven's fate smiled awkwardly. At this moment, the cat that Fong Ping was carrying suddenly jumped out of his hand and pounced at Emperor West. Under Fong Ping's slightly surprised gaze, the cat slapped him with its paw. Emperor West's projection was slightly obliterated, but it recovered in the blink of an eye. Slightly surprised, he chuckled and said, "Cat, I didn't do anything to you. Why did you attack me?" The cat jumped onto the chessboard and asked curiously, "Why didn't you get slapped to death? We met the old beast emperor before, and we slapped him to death 60 to 70 times. Then we ate a lot, and the taste was not bad. Why didn't you get slapped into a meatball?" Emperor West's projection was stunned for a moment. The corner of Heaven's fate's mouth twitched. "I told you, Fong Ping is an incomparably savage guy. This guy has actually killed the beast emperor countless times. Old fellow, do you believe what your son said now? Look, he's ready to slap you to death and eat you." Emperor West's projection could not help but laugh. He chuckled and said, "It's different. There are many checkpoints here, and each checkpoint is different." Fong Ping interrupted, "If that's the case, Senior actually knows that there are other checkpoints?" Emperor West looked around, looked at the walls, and sighed. "I know, a cage. It's just a cage for us. Although we are not true emperors, we have some consciousness after so many years. This place is a cage that imprisons us. Some people are strong and determined. When they walk out of the cage, they can appreciate the scenery of this illusory world. As for me, I can only be trapped here, unable to leave. Day after day, year after year, when someone comes, we play a game of chess. Unfortunately, after countless years, those who came here besides the two of you, there are only 3 people." Fong Ping's eyes moved slightly. Heaven's fate was also surprised. 3 people? You said that there were 3 people who came before us? That's right. Who is it? I can't tell you. Emperor West's projection shook his head. In the next second, Fong Ping threw a punch. There was a rumble. The projection blurred a lot. Heaven's fate looked at Fong Ping, a little speechless. Why did you hit him for no reason? No matter what, he was still his old man. Although it was not his real body, it did not feel too comfortable to look at. Fong Ping laughed. Senior, just tell us, what secrets are you guarding? This is like a cage. You're an emperor, after all. Do you still have to abide by some rules now? Is it necessary? Just based on this, I think you're the weakest among the 9 emperors and 4 emperors. Emperor West's projection looked at him, smiling without saying a word. Fong Ping laughed. It's true. I went to Heavenly Emperor Zhan's place before. Heavenly Emperor Zhan personally entertained me and gave me a lot of live fish. He also said that this world is a living world. It's real and fake. I can't tell if it's real or not. However, as a top powerhouse of the 3 realms, he was unwilling. Even a projection can't become someone else's chess piece. As Fong Ping said that, many live fish appeared in his hand. Then he laughed again. He also taught me the most suitable combat technique for me, allowing my combat strength to improve greatly. Right? Fong Ping's fist was like a mountain. He threw another punch with an extremely strong explosive force. Emperor West's projection sensed it and frowned slightly. Fong Ping laughed. In my opinion, a true top powerhouse will never be willing to become someone else's prisoner, someone else's chess piece. Even if it's just a life origin, it actually represents some people's true intentions. I didn't expect you to be so timid, senior. No wonder Heaven's fate is like this too. You're indeed a father and son. Heaven's fate's expression did not look too good. What did he mean? Emperor West's projection glanced at him and chuckled. Young friend, you mean, say whatever you want, do whatever you want. Your real body is not dead yet. You're so scared of a life origin. Are you afraid that you won't be able to take over after you die? With your guts, if the real Emperor West is here, do you have the ability to take over? Fong Ping shook his head. Just say it. You have to keep me in suspense. What, 3 or 4? Do you want me to guess? I don't have the energy and time to guess. If you can say it, then say it. If you can't, then don't mention it. You're so secretive. Emperor, I'm sorry. I'm a straightforward person. Anyway, I don't really like you. A smile appeared on Emperor West's projection's face. Young friend, you're domineering. The 3 realms have produced another hero. Jean is indeed more straightforward than this old man. He saw the life small fish and felt Fong Ping's combat technique. He had to admit that he still believed what Fong Ping said. If Jean did not personally give these, where would Fong Ping get them? Emperor West's projection laughed. If you want to know, you can. Beat this old man. If you win, I'll tell you. Fong Ping sat opposite the chessboard and glanced at the black and white chess pieces. Emperor West held the black chess pieces, and he held the white chess pieces. At this moment, Heaven's fate came over. He did not approach Fong Ping. He glanced at the chessboard that had returned to its original state and said gloomily, Fong Ping, this guy, he's your father. Fong Ping said faintly. On the opposite side, Emperor West's projection also smiled faintly. My son, the King of Man knows etiquette better than you. Heaven's fate said gloomily. Who hit your head just now? Don't you remember? More etiquette than me. Who hit your head until it became illusory? Don't you remember? Also, who's your son? You're not the real one. He won't recognize you as his father. Emperor West's projection was not surprised. He laughed. King of Man, do you want to go first or this old man? Don't rush. Fong Ping laughed. I don't know how to play. Why don't you tell me the rules first? Heaven's fate answered, simple. One side is black and one side is white. The winner is after the 9 chess combo. Fong Ping was stunned. 9 chess combo? Yes, it's 9 chess combo. Fong Ping could not help but laugh. I thought it was go. You guys play 5 in a row with me. No, 9 in a row. He laughed. He did not care about it the last time. Why did ancient powerhouses play 5 in a row? How childish. However, 9 in a row seemed quite difficult. 5 in a row was easy, but 9 in a row was much more difficult. The Heaven's fate glanced at him. You're very confident, aren't you? I've played hundreds of games, and I've never won. If you're so awesome, why don't you try winning 1 game? Fong Ping laughed. What else? Are there any other rules? No. You're free to play. Whoever plays 9 in a row first wins. Fong Ping looked at Emperor West's projection opposite him and laughed. Is it like this? Emperor West's projection nodded slightly and smiled. Exactly. This is too easy. Fong Ping was helpless. Then I'll go first. What do you think, senior? Sure. Fong Ping was too lazy to talk nonsense. He shook his head. This is too childish. It's a sure win game. Boring. As he said that, Fong Ping placed 9 stones in one go under Heaven's fate's day's gaze. He yawned and said, You didn't say that this is against the rules. I'll go first. 9 stones in one go. I win. Fong Ping laughed. It's too easy. I thought this round wouldn't be easy. I didn't expect it to be so easy. If you said how many stones I took from you, that would be troublesome. 9 in a row will do. You're underestimating me. This doesn't count. Before Heaven's Fate finished speaking, Fong Ping glanced at him and said with a faint smile, Heaven's Fate, this isn't up to you. You said the rules, and Senior Emperor West has no objections. If that's the case, then I've won within the rules. What can't be counted? You didn't set the rules yourself. Do you want me to foot the bill? The Emperor's origin is essentially an emperor. You can't even afford to lose? Emperor West projection sighed and laughed. I've underestimated you, young friend. You've won. However, I'm only saying that if you win, I'll tell you who the 3 people are. If you want to leave this place, you'll have to play another round. This is the rule. Emperor West projection laughed. Do you agree with the rule I mentioned just now? Fong Ping said nonchalantly, Sure, I don't care. It's too easy to win. I've just arrived, and I'm not willing to leave. You can't play 9 stones in one go next. Emperor West projection added. He glanced at Fong Ping and added, You can only play 1 stone at a time. He added, afraid that Fong Ping would play 10 or 20 stones again. Fong Ping nodded. No problem. We can play a few more rounds. You give me some benefits if I win once. Then, do as you please. I don't mind. As he said that, Fong Ping laughed. Senior, why don't you tell me who the 3 people are first? He guessed unquestionable Jian and guessed that there might be Jiang Hao. Whether the last person was the Thunder King, he was not too sure. Emperor West chuckled. The first person. When we talked back then, I heard him say that he came from the blessed Grotto Heaven. When I appeared here, there was no such thing as the blessed Grotto Heaven in my memory. I also learned about some things about the outside world from him. Unquestionable Jian? You guys should know him too. Emperor West projection was not too surprised. He laughed. He's such an amazing person. After he goes out, his name will definitely shake the 3 realms. All right, has he broken 8 or 9? Fong Ping smiled and said nothing. Beside him, Celestial Pole rolled his eyes. Old man, your eyesight is bad. That person is dead. He died not long ago. Dead, Emperor West projection was a little surprised. Then he said with some disappointment, That's true. Actually, I sensed it before. When the 3rd person came, I thought he was that person's descendant. Now that I think about it, he shouldn't be. Fong Ping knew who the 3rd person was. Emperor West projection sighed. In the past, when unquestionable Jian came, he was full of hatred and determined to take revenge. But he didn't let his hatred get to his head and was shocked for a moment. I sensed that he might have broken through all the levels. Maybe he entered the levels. Of course, I didn't leave this place. Whether he really broke through the fog, I don't know either. In the game that year, I lost wholeheartedly. At that time, he was only at the true god level. Speaking of unquestionable Jian, Emperor West projection shook his head too. He had high hopes for that young man. Although he came with hatred, he had to admit that he was really a genius. He had thought that person could go very, very far in the end. Fong Ping sneered. You're crying crocodile tears. Isn't everything caused by you people? Beside him, the old cat patted him with his paw, somewhat innocently. Crying crocodile tears? Who said that? If this cat reared a mouse and the mouse died, it would really be sad. Liar nonsense. Fong Ping was speechless. Why did you still come to make trouble at a time like this? After knowing the 2 of them, Fong Ping laughed. I know who the 3rd person is. Jiang Hao. I guess he's the reincarnation of unquestionable Jian. I'm more curious. Who's the 2nd person to break through? Emperor West projection frowned slightly. After a while, he said, Not a person. Celestial Pole was puzzled. Fong Ping suddenly laughed. It's that guy? The tree that the Emperor God planted? I'm a little curious. What's its purpose for coming here? Emperor West projection looked at him in shock. Why did he feel that this young man knew everything? After all, that person, not many people knew him, right? Celestial Pole was stunned. He asked doubtfully, What tree? Emperor West projection suddenly despised his son a little. He said in a low voice, After so many years, you've only broken through 6. You know nothing about the 3 realms. Other than complaining, you can only complain. He despised his cheap son a little. Even if it was not his real body, he would still despise him. What the hell? He didn't know anything. He only knew how to roar and roar and roar incompetently. Celestial Pole's heart ached. I am being despised by this old thing? Celestial Pole gritted his teeth. He looked at Fong Ping abruptly and said in a muffled voice, "Kill this old thing. After all, he looks like my father. It's not convenient for me to kill him. You kill him." Fong Ping rolled his eyes. He could not be bothered to get involved in this father-son matter. "Senior, that tree, what's its strength? What's its name? Where is it now?" Emperor West's projection laughed. "It's called Dao Tree." How arrogant. Celestial Pole narrowed his eyes and said in a low voice, "The tree planted by the Emperor God. I think I heard you mention it once. Back then, the Emperor God purposely opened up the 9 heavens passageway for this tree and planted this tree outside the 9 heavens, right?" "Yes." Emperor West laughed. "At least you still remember something useful." Celestial Pole snorted and said unhappily, "If you didn't leave suddenly without leaving a word, I wouldn't be like this. Look at Emperor Earth. His 2 sons, Hong Yu and Hong Kuan, were they stronger than me in the past? When he was at Heavenly King Hong Kuan's realm, I was at Saint Realm, but I was 5,000 years younger than him. I was about to achieve Heavenly King realm. But what happened in the end? In the end, the war came. What about me?" Celestial Pole said hatefully, "I don't know anything. I only saw Emperor West's palace falling. Helpless. I fell with Emperor West's palace. I was seriously injured and fell into a deep sleep for thousands of years. After I woke up, my father was gone. The heavenly realm was gone. My senior brothers were all dead. I was the only one left." Celestial Pole's expression was ferocious. "You have the nerve to say that I'm useless?" Emperor Earth's 2 sons, one with his projection avatar, dominated the 3 realms and established a dynasty for 3,000 years. The other carried Emperor Earth's instructions and legacy, established a divine sect, and dominated the 3 realms. Now, both of them have broken through 8, and I am waiting for your return alone in Emperor West's palace. Because my father is missing. I don't know if he's alive or dead. I don't dare to leave Emperor West's palace. I'm afraid that the war in the outside world has not ended. I'm afraid that my father will return with serious injuries and not even a word of his last words." Celestial Pole snorted coldly. "Since young, you never told me anything. I had to guess and think about everything myself. I left whenever I wanted to. When have you ever cared about me?" Celestial Pole sneered. "Of course, so many years have passed. I've gotten over it a long time ago. You are only the father in my imagination. You're as great as a mountain, giving me hope and the belief to live on. But in reality, is that so? Wrong, you're not. You only know how to scold and criticize. You've never thought about why Celestial Pole is inferior to others. You always think that I'm inferior because I don't work hard. But do you know that among all the descendants of the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors, your son broke through to Saint Realm at the youngest age, 100 years earlier than Hong Yu. However, Emperor Earth knows that Hong Yu's talent is invincible in the 3 realms. What about you? You only know how to say that Hong Kuan was already a heavenly king. Your son is actually not a heavenly king martial artist." Fong Ping looked at Celestial Pole in surprise. He was also a little surprised. This person was the youngest Saint Realm powerhouse? He should have broken through to Saint Realm after Hong Yu. According to what he said, he should be younger than Hong Yu. It was just that he was slightly later than Hong Yu. He was a genius. How did a genius end up like this? Emperor Earth's 2 sons, Emperor North's daughter, and Emperor Spirit's niece all seem to be doing better than this guy. Celestial Pole saw Fong Ping looking at him and smiled faintly. "Why, King Man, do you also think that my talent is invincible? Why did I end up like this?" "Not really." Fong Ping shook his head. "It's just SOSO. You should have been a few thousand years old since you broke through to Saint Realm. A few thousand years. I wonder if you could rank in the top 100 of the 3 realms. It's not surprising that you ended up like this." Celestial Pole, who was still smug just now, suddenly became dispirited. He did not want to speak anymore. Emperor West's projection also had mixed feelings at this moment. He shook his head and said, maybe I, or your father, was really too harsh on you. Emperor West did not say much about this. He continued the previous topic and said, that tree is the Tao tree. The Emperor God studied it for a very, very long time before he got the result. That tree has an extraordinary origin. Speaking of this, Emperor West's eyes brightened. That tree's seed has an extraordinary origin. It might be related to the seed of rebirth. The Emperor God left the three realms alone for 1,000 years before he returned and planted the Tao tree. The Tao tree also shocked the three realms. The Emperor God might be a little different from this tree. Fong Ping frowned. What's its strength then? It was a long time ago when I saw it. At that time, Broken 7? Emperor West said uncertainly. The Tao tree's chi dynamic is not obvious. After all, I'm just an origin. It's not my real body. My senses are not too obvious. Fong Ping said in a low voice. Then the seed of rebirth that you mentioned. Does it really exist? I always thought that the seed of rebirth was just a saying that some people use to deceive the three realms. Does it really exist? Emperor West said self-deprecatingly. I don't know. Even I have only seen a projection and a virtual image. It's not a real thing. Whether it really exists, who knows? Speaking of this, Emperor West said slowly, continue. I've told you what you wanted to ask. If you want to know more, then play chess with me. It's been so many years. I'm too lonely alone. The celestial pole is too boring. I follow the rules and don't know how to be flexible. I lose again and again. If you want to know more, then you have to win against me. Fong Ping nodded. I'll let you go first in this game. I, Fong Ping, have never been afraid of anyone in Gamoku. I'll win for sure. It's not a big deal. He said it calmly, extremely arrogant. Emperor West's projection burst out laughing. The celestial pole also curled its lips. Fong Ping's bragging ability was the best in the three realms. He had never been afraid of anyone. But to say that he was really good at chess, would the celestial pole believe it? P.S. For hours. Ask for monthly votes again. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.